Indiana basketball is brought to you in part by your Central Indiana Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Against UCLA, Indiana suffered from a lack of speed and quickness at guard. So just before the IU Soviet exhibition game, Bob Knight changed his plans to redshirt Chris Reynolds. And Reynolds responded by improving the game tempo and providing much-needed enthusiasm to the entire team, along with some good defensive pressure. Tonight, Reynolds leads the Hoosiers into action against the visiting Butler Bulldogs. TTV4 Productions, in association with Raycom Sports, presents Big Ten Basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. By your local 76 dealers, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. By Counter Lock and Load Closed Handling System. And by Farm Bureau Insurance and the more than 600 Farm Bureau insurance agents across Indiana. We're live from Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, where tonight the Butler Bulldogs, with a record of 2-0, invade Hoosier country, Indiana, looking for its first victory of the season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chuck Marlowe, along with my sidekick, John Laskowski. And John, just specifically, I guess I laid it on the line. Indiana, after that big loss, 15-point loss to UCLA, wants to get on this winning track, and Butler stands in their way. But Butler, with a 2-0 record, 67-60 over Notre Dame the other night.
Yes, Indiana's come a long way in 2 weeks from that UCLA loss. A good exhibition game against the Soviets. They face a tough Butler team now. Butler's a team that plays a lot like Indiana. Man-to-man defense, a lot of pressure on that defense, and it'll be a good contest today.
Where are the areas that we look for from Butler tonight?
Well, right away you can go to J.P. Brenz. He's the big guy inside. He's 6'9", 225. Watch this move against Notre Dame. The head and shoulder fake, and then right up for the stuff shot. He's 6'9". He's a real threat on the inside. Darren Archibald, number 35, 6'4". He's a guard. He's a great shooter. He led the nation in free throw percentage last year. Here you see him working off the dribble, the head and shoulder fake again, and then he goes up for the hoop.
All right, let's take a look now at the Napa important parts of this game.
For Indiana, they need to get some inside scoring. That's Calbert Cheney and Eric Anderson. They've got to focus their offense around those two players inside. They must play IU defense. Coach feels the team has not lived up to some of the rules that they're responsible for, and we'll go over some of those as we see them in today's game. For Butler, rebounding's the key. Besides Brenz at 6'9", they are not a tall team. They've got to concentrate on the rebounding. And Archibald, as you mentioned, is a good shooter. He's got to be careful on his shot selection. Make sure he gets a shot in the flow of the offense.
Give your car the starting power it needs. Get the Napa Legend, the better battery. And we'll be back with the starting lineups of tonight's game in just a moment.
What am I going to do?
About what?
Protecting my hard-earned money.
What's the worry?
Come on, you've heard the news. Who can you trust anymore?
Maybe you need to do a little homework.
So you're not worried?
Well, let's just say I made a rock-solid decision years ago.
Confidence. Get the feeling at INB.
I really need a car I can depend on. We needed a comfortable car, but we also wanted something that would be safe. Well, our Lumina Euro came standard with anti-lock brakes, but it was a real expensive option on the Ford Taurus.
Which makes your only real option Chevy Lumina. With cash back and option packages, you can save up to $1,300 only at your local Chevy dealer.
The car was right, the deal was right. Lumina's the one.
Are you sure this is going to work, Grandpa?
Trust me, kiddo. And now, silver shovel, like a Grandma's fruitcake. Grandpa's magic pine cone. 2 weeks, we should see something.
Is it time, Grandpa?
It's time.
Butler Bulldog fans, the next game you can see on TTV4 is in 2 weeks when Butler takes on Indiana State at 2 o'clock. So join us here on your Indiana sports station.
During his career as a coach,
Indiana versus Butler tonight. Indiana coming off a loss, 87-72 in the Hall of Fame Classic. And let's take a look now at the Hall of Fame, or I'm sorry, at the starting lineups tonight.
There you see for Indiana, Anderson, Cheney inside. Nova will start at center, although we'll probably see Henderson in part of the game. Greg Graham and Reynolds are the guard. Damon Bailey is available for Indiana.
Okay, there's the lineup. And we'll be back with the opening tip-off following these messages.
In just about every hometown across Indiana, you'll find an insurance company that's been offering the same great service for over 50 years.
Tom. Hi, Bob. Nice to see you.
Your Farm Bureau insurance agent.
Morning, Mrs. Taylor.
Oh, hi, Bob.
He can insure your car, your home, your life, and your business.
Hey, Mr. Johnson.
Hi, Nicky.
I've been meaning to talk to you about insuring my stand.
We'll talk in a few years, okay?
And Farm Bureau Insurance will always be here, serving your hometown for generations to come.
For as long as there have been neighbors, there have been neighborhoods. And with them came a tradition of people relying on one another. And along with the post office and the grocer, many have come to rely on their neighborhood 76 station for quality gasolines. The same quality the winning drivers in NASCAR depend on us to provide. And how could we do anything less for our neighbors? 76. Go with the spirit.
Nostalgia here tonight. Bob Collins, a great sports writer for the Indianapolis Star, who has now retired, is here as an honorary coach. And Paul D. Tony Hinkle, good friend of everyone that knows anything about basketball at all, is here also this evening. What a record. 1,060 wins last. Can you imagine that, a career spanning those years?
And 560 of those in basketball. He lost 392. And started coaching basketball in 1926.
That's just amazing. Just amazing. He's with us this evening. His lovely daughter Pat is down here too, and we just wish him the best. Look at some of the fans on hand as they're finishing up the introduction of Indiana's starting five. This is an off night or an off-campus night. The students are away, and this place is packed. It's been sold out for 10 days.
Let's take a look at our officials today. Ed Hightower, Verl Sell, and Steve Welmer will be calling the game today. A lot of Butler fans will be here today too, Chuck.
We've talked about Steve Welmer before and all the weight that he's lost. He has a lot of friends here. Bill Stearman from Columbus, Indiana, is here with his lovely wife. A lot of people from the Columbus area make the drive over on the highway to Bloomington, Indiana, and make it a regular habit of watching Indiana basketball.
You see Coach Knight in his 21st home opener, and it'll be against Butler this go-around. Mentioned Butler plays a lot like Indiana. They run that motion offense, a very scrappy defense. They'll pick up at half court. Indiana's got to concentrate on their game. They've got to run the fundamental defense. Keep the ball keep your position between the ball and your man. There's Barry Collier, the head coach at Butler. He's in his third year, had a great year last year, took him to the NIT tournament.
So Nova gets the start at center, and the tap is controlled double tip, and Ed Hightower will toss it again.
Here's the series, the 41st meeting between the two schools, and Indiana holds a 30-10 advantage over Butler.
Indiana will get the first offensive attack at the basket. Good pressure by Butler starting out. They'll play a man as long as they can. Up to the glass goes Cheney. It's too hard, and Taylor pulls it down for the Bulldogs. Up to Geis. Geis will shoot from right there. Inside to Brins, and a whistle. We have a travel.
Now, Brins found himself in a position where there are three Indiana defenders around him. and caused that turnover. Indiana ball.
We have played just about 30 seconds. No score. And a whistle and a block. It's going against Geis. First foul of the game. Jermaine Geis. He's 6'2", a sophomore. He comes out of Ohio. Barry Collier has done a good job of recruiting out of the state of Indiana last.
He's got 5 of his kids from Indiana, led by Archibald from Markle.
Out on the point, Chris Reynolds. Cheney for 3. Oh, right on target.
That's good out of bounds play. Calvert takes the ball out, and then a pick is set for him as he comes back into play. The ball comes right back to him for the 3-pointer.
Indiana draws first blood, and we have our first foul against the Hoosiers. It will go against Anderson.
Anderson's got to keep his position inside, and as he and Brenz were fighting for that position, Anderson got called for the push from behind.
The Lady Hoosiers played a basketball game here today. They defeated Liberty 97-46. That was earlier this afternoon. Geis. Archibald. Bowen, he's the shortest player that will be on the floor tonight. 5'8", tipped away, out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Good hands by Reynolds. Bowen has great quickness. You can see there that Reynolds at 6'1" has quite a height advantage. He was able to swat that ball away before Bowen could make his move inside.
Archibald looking and comes to Geis. Now Bowen.
Down pick for Archibald, and a switch there by Calvert Cheney.
And a travel. That was a good move, but the travel was what pulled Indiana's defense over.
Talked about defensively, you've got to keep your position between the ball and the man you're guarding, and that time Calvert Cheney did. Butler wants to go to Archibald. They couldn't that time because of Cheney's position.
Butler picks up its second foul as Bowen is called for his first. Bowen is from Los Angeles, played at Cleveland High in Los Angeles.
25 and 33 in Collier's career. Had a great turnaround, though, last year.
Anderson. Graham will fire and hit.
Good shot. He took one quick dribble to improve his angle a little bit. Ended up with about a 10-footer.
Reynolds steps up, increases the pressure a bit on Bowen. Cheney playing Geis.
Indiana's extending their defense also to try to take Butler out of things they like to do.
Knocked away by Anderson. Indiana with the theft. Here they come, leading 5-0. Cheney, good move. Misses the shot, and Brenz is there to pull it down. Brenz is a very athletic center, Laz.
He's got good strength. He moves well. He's got a quick move for a guy that big.
Geis for 3, no good. And Anderson chases it down the outlet to Cheney. 2-on-1, and it scores.
Great pass by Cheney that time. He did not have to take that dribble, which he did not do. He just got the bounce pass right over to Reynolds and quickly to the basket.
Indiana with a 7-point lead as Butler still looks for its first point.
Now there's that enthusiasm by Reynolds again. We saw that in the Soviet game, and he deflects a pass out of bounds, but yet it shows great defensive effort on his part, and then that can flow to the rest of the players, because enthusiasm is such a big part of defense.
Geis tries to rub Cheney off on a pick. They get it back into Brenz. 17.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Brenz with a great move to the basket.
Barry Collier was looking for a foul that time. Brenz made a good play, knife between 2 Indiana defenders, and hit the bank shot.
Good cut by Chris Reynolds, and Calvert Cheney saw him all the way.
At center cut, the guard gives the ball up and then cuts right through the middle. And if the defense is not awake, a quick pass ends up in a layup.
Bad pass there into the hands of Eric. Anderson gives it up to Graham. Anderson will shoot just inside the 3. No good, and Geis clears for Butler. Taylor, oh, he's trapped down on the baseline. And Burl Self says last touch by Indiana, but he took it right into the men there.
Well, Barry took his jacket off on that one. He's not happy with the way his team has played early in the ball game. Indiana's done a good job of trapping as Butler drives toward the baseline. Indiana puts a double team on him. They've also done a good job of stealing that low post pass as it comes into Brands. Twice now Anderson stepped in to steal that ball.
As you look, if you're just joining us and you wouldn't identify either team by uniform, you would say there's so many similarities between their offensive patterns and defense. Anderson, no foul. Collier wanted one there on Anderson. Anderson clears on the shot missed by Graham. Indiana sets it again. All alone for the slam dunk. Calvert Cheney
Picks up off after that rebound. Nobody picked Cheney up. And that was one of the easiest baskets he'll have all year. 2 quick dribbles and the jam.
Indiana stepping out, trying to stop the dribble. As they're playing the defensive lanes pretty well in the early going of this game.
Archibald 35. He's the one that wants to take that shot. Cheney's on him right now.
Dice. As Graham picks him up, there's that step-in trap by Anderson.
Shot clock down to 8.
Geis, no good. Rebound, takes a long bound, and here's Reynolds. Nover to the glass for 2.
Kind of change of pace pass that time by Reynolds. It was just a high lob pass that gave Nover time to run under it and then get the bank shot.
Brands tries to put up another miraculous shot. Left-handed pass out by Cheney. Here's Reynolds. I think if Indiana scores here, now you got a technical foul. Burl-Sell calls a technical foul against the Butler bench.
It was on Collier. He was speaking to Sell as he came down the floor, and he got the technical foul.
We have substitutions, mass substitutions for Indiana. Damon Bailey's in, Jamal Meeks is in, Alan Henderson is in.
It's been a real quick pace here early in the ball game. We're just 5 minutes into the game. Indiana already substitutes 3 players. The action has been very quick up and down the floor. And now Greg Graham has 2 free throws on the technical foul.
Barry Collier hit with the technical foul as Graham sends the second off the front of the rim. So Indiana will have the ball. And we have a timeout. 14:58 left in the first half. Indiana 14-2. We'll be back after these
messages. We talked about the future again last night.
And how'd it go?
Very frustrating. Oh, there's so much we want to do. How are we going to afford it?
I remember feeling that way.
Oh, sure. You look pretty well off to me.
Well, maybe that's because I made some good decisions long ago.
INB has savings options to secure your success. Get the feeling at INB.
Without Amex coal, practice would be over. It takes coal to produce the electricity that lights basketball courts all the way from backyards to the NBA. Amex Coal Industries. Bet you never thought of us as a basketball power.
When you play the game and you're looking good, there's a fun light way and it's understood.
If you're into looking good, get into Bud Light. Clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never let you down.
You can taste it, feel it, know you got it right. Cause everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Just a light. Everything else is just a light.
Well, assess Indiana's defense so far, lads.
Well, it's been excellent. Butler just with 2 points. Watch the position here. Help from Reynolds. The trap, he comes right over, deflects the pass, comes up with the steal. And then Cheney at the other end. This was after a rebound by Anderson. Nobody picked Cheney up. He got a free path to the basket. Indiana's 6 of 10 at 60%. Butler has not been able to get the shots. They've only taken 4, but probably the opening best 5 minutes you'll see in Indiana Open right there. Butler has 5 turnovers. Indiana was 0.
Well, Meeks immediately tried to hit Henderson. It was a bad angle, and Butler comes up with the theft. There's a cross-the-court pass. No good. Rebound as Anderson has it knocked away. And Geis, no, I'll take that back. Taylor just leans his shoulder right into Jamal Meeks. And Taylor is called for the foul.
Boy, amazing what can happen after a timeout. Indiana has their first turnover, and here's Taylor. He really lowered the boom on Meeks. Butler also comes up with an offensive rebound, and finally the foul, so it'll be out of bounds to Indiana.
Butler will put on some pressure. Indiana gets the ball. Meeks gets it up to Bailey, who works it across the line. Bailey playing with a pinched nerve in his back, but appears to be all right.
He's fine. I talked to him before the game. He's, as you can see right there, he makes a three-pointer. He's been in the game 22 seconds. He felt that was long enough to let it rip.
Well, I got to watch their practice yesterday. Bailey looked like he was more mentally into the practice yesterday, Lance.
It's a big part of Damon's game. Obviously, he's got to be healthy, but when he's mentally on, he's tough. A three-pointer now by Butler.
And that's Geis, Jermaine Geis from outside. Post, Anderson. Over Brenz, no good. Rebound, Henderson, no good. And Anderson's going to be called for the foul.
Henderson did a nice job there. We mentioned rebounding would be a big part of the game. A good shot by Look at Henderson's got good position. He goes right up with it. He fell away a little bit. See how he needs to go right up toward the hoop there. Even a 2 or 3 foot shot can be difficult when you fall back away. Anderson picks up his second foul.
That's his second team foul against Indiana. Taylor makes a move on Bailey, and it's not going to fall. Tipped back out and controlled by Archbold. That won't fall. He tries to follow. Brenz tries to follow, and we have a foul. Ed Hightower calls it against Butler, but let's wait to see who he puts it on. It's on number 14, Taylor. And it's a pushing foul, so that's number 2 on Taylor.
Because again on the rebound, Butler's trying to get a little more aggressive on offense. First time Archibald has gotten a shot, and it was a good one too. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Meeks to Bailey. Henderson, 2.
He was ready to take that shot. The defense, Brenz, came out at him, but Henderson had his feet ready and did not hesitate to take that shot.
19-5. Bowen caught by Meeks. Archbold tries to get around. Bailey steps in and commits the foul. Got a little knee into the back of Darren.
Damon really didn't need to make that foul. There was a good double team there. They had Archbold on the sideline. No reason to reach. He wasn't taking the shot. He was actually moving away looking for an outlet pass.
Geis chased by Calvert Cheney. Archbold gives it away. Brenz. And look how high Cheney goes for that board. Anderson, good move. Misses the shot, puts it back, and gets the third effort to drive.
He stayed after it. He made a nice move there around the baseline. Missed 2 little layups, but got the tip to fall. Good quickness by Jamal. See how Bowen's not able to get into the lane, and that's where he's dangerous because he can dish off to his teammates.
Butler showing some good patience, however. They're staying in their disciplined offense as Brenz misses. Oh, here comes Meeks. He just blows it right up court. Henderson, back up. Cheney. Now Bailey will set it up. Oh, that's a bad pass. Telegraphed that. And Cheney with the foul.
Alan Henderson made a great move inside that time as he jumped out away from the baseline. He missed the shot. Here's the pass. Good anticipation by Geis. He steps right in. It really wasn't possession. The Butler bench wanted the intentional foul on the breakaway. There you see Barry Collier. But there really wasn't a possession established. It was still a loose ball. So Cheney gets the foul. That's his first. And Butler gets the ball at half court.
In the lineup for Butler. And we'll pick him up as the ball goes to him. Right there, number 33, Katara Relaford. Bad pass right along the line. Indiana with good defense, and Butler just couldn't hook up. With 11:43 left in the first half, we have a timeout. It's Indiana 21-5. We'll be back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
I really need a car I can depend on. We needed a comfortable car, but we also wanted something that would be safe. Well, our Lumina Euro came standard with anti-lock brakes, but it was a real expensive option on the Ford Taurus.
Which makes your only real option Chevy Lumina. With cashback and option packages, you can save up to $1,300 only at your local Chevy dealer.
The car was right, the deal was right. Lumina's the one.
There's only one place you'll find everything you need to find. The easy-to-use Ameritech Pages Plus. The complete Indiana Bell Yellow Pages.
Well, you know, shortness of breath, chest pain. Well, my regular doctor sent me to the Indiana Heart Institute. I've never felt more cared for. My family doctor, my cardiologist, the surgeon, my heart team.
It was chest pain, but I was embarrassed to go to the Heart Institute. I did, though. It wasn't a heart attack, but the doctor said it was a warning.
Christmas Day, I called Dad's doctor about the symptoms, and he met us at St. Vincent. Great people. They also cared about us.
Thanks, Doc.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without the express prior written consent of the Big Ten Conference is prohibited. Well, for the 5th straight year, Coach Bob Knight has made it possible for a group from the Bethel United Methodist Church to attend an IU game. They're here tonight, a group of 25 made up of youth and parents from the church. And Marvin Singleton, the pastor, is here with them. We welcome them to tonight's game. Indiana with the ball in the forecourt. Meeks gives to Bailey. Indiana trying to pick the tempo up a little bit as Bailey sends another three on the way. Two more.
There's an example of Damon going down to set the pick on Henderson and then rolling right back out to the three-point line. There was a switch that left Bailey open. He made the shot.
Bailey has 6 points. Anderson goes for the loose ball and commits the foul.
Anderson really playing good post defense. You see the pat there from Coach Knight, although that's his 3rd foul. He's made 2 steals already. He's in pretty good position here to go for that ball. But as Taylor comes over, he had the position. Anderson not happy with the call, but boy, he really has hustled on the defensive end today. He's going to have to sit, though, now for a while.
And Nova replaces him in the IU lineup at the 11-14 mark.
Anderson with only 2 points. I mentioned he needed to do some scoring inside. Did not get that done yet early in the ballgame.
Bailey stopped Relaford's drive. Here's Indiana with the ball. Good cut and a slam dunk by Calvercini.
Oh, what a pass by Jamal. That was the backdoor play, and a bounce pass was the only one to get in there. Very low, and Calvert was the only one that saw it. Really threaded the needle there on that one. Good assist by Jamal.
26-5. Here's a give and go. Blocked by Henderson. Foul on Henderson.
Like Taylor was going in for a jam there. Henderson came over to help. Committed the foul, but he did stop the jam. Let's take a look now. It's a bad cut. Actually, this is Henderson's man, but watch how quickly he can recover. Slapped across the face there, and that'll be free throws for Butler.
In the lineup, Michael Wilson for Butler. He's a 6-foot senior from Kokomo, Indiana, one of only 3 seniors on this squad. The other 2 being Archbold and Wade Galt from Logansport.
This is a young team. They've got a good start already at 2-0. They beat Notre Dame last week. They're having trouble getting started. They seem a little tight. They're getting some open shots, but they're not getting them to fall. Even missed that first free throw.
26-7. Taylor, a sophomore from Matteson, Illinois, went to Rich South. And now in the lineup, another substitution. Okay, this is Wilson. And it's going to be a blocking foul against Wilson. His first.
Personal foul, Butler. Number 21, Michael Wilson. His first personal, the team's fifth.
15 fouls, so Butler's still not over the limit. Out of bounds to Indiana. See that the pressuring full court after every made basket and every Indiana out of bounds at the far end.
Indiana working with a 19-point lead. Meeks gets it out of trouble, gets it across and gets a break. And Nova, I don't know what he was trying to do with that.
Wild pass to Henderson, actually bounced off the lower part of the rim. Look at the defense. Henderson hustles right down the floor.
Here's Cheney, but he can't go to the basket. The pass was offline. Now he makes the drive and misses as Wilson pulls it down. Well, a bad pass and then an offline pass. Indiana might have been able to score on that last conversion. Archbold just can't find the range. Indiana doing a good job defensively on him as Bailey brings it back out. Bailey, Henderson, and Allen with his second field goal. I don't know, except when he's posted underneath and had that rebound, that he's shot anymore.
Well, he's got that twice now. He's made the shot from that side. He really plants his feet well. He's ready to shoot. As Damon got him the ball, he quickly got the release away. Made another one. Look at this steal.
And he's got the ball. Here's Cheney. Now watch Indiana leading 28-7. The Hoosiers go to the post. That's Cheney. Calvert will fire. And a hold. Now they're going to call it on Nover.
Well,
maybe not.
Nover's going to be shooting.
Yep. Head pointed right at Nover, but it's going to be on 21 Wilson.
Let's watch the steal here. Henderson's got his hand out there for defense. All of a sudden the ball's right there. He scraps after it. And now it looks like it'd be a jump, but he quickly grabs it away. Before he travels, he slips it off to Calvert.
So Cheney takes a breather as Chris Reynolds is back in along with Greg Graham. And Jamal Meeks takes a rest. Graham. Bailey sets a pick for Henderson. Nover right in front of the basket. No. Rebound Archbold. Wilson. Darren. Geis for three. No. Bailey.
Reynolds was open long, but there was no way to get the ball to him. Good play by Damon to slow it up.
And yet the tempo of the offense has not slowed up, as overplay there by Relaford has resulted in a foul against the Bulldogs.
Indiana's run their offense well. 28 points now, still 8 minutes to go. Coach and I did a little fine-tuning right now as he brings Nova over. But Indiana's setting the picks. They're listening for the switch and then spinning into the middle to see who's open. Henderson's going to be at the line right now.
Bowen is back in for Butler. Henderson a little bit long and strong on that free throw at the 8-minute mark. 28-7. This stage, not much of a ball game here, but Butler not giving up, and they still stay in that motion offense. We were wondering, Laz, how long Butler would go before they had to make changes against Indiana. Foul on Reynolds. But Barry Collier believes the same as Coach Knight does, that you dance with the girl that brung you.
That's right, exactly. Bowen has really had problems getting inside. He likes to drive that middle, but with Indiana switching Reynolds and Meeks on him, keeping a fresh guy in there defensively, they've done a good job to keep him out of there. This time the foul, though, and Bowen will be at the line. Just 5'8", 155 pounds. He's a junior out of Los Angeles. Very quick. You can see he's a pretty good shooter, but hasn't been able to get into the flow of the offense because of that defensive pressure.
Out of bounds, Butler. And we have a timeout. 7:38 left to play first half. Indiana leads 28-7. We'll be back after these messages.
If you're into looking good, get into Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never let you down.
Everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Everything else is just a light. Everything else.
There's a person in your hometown you'd enjoy getting to know. You might see her going out the front door to take her kids to swimming practice. He might be hurrying along a country road to help a neighbor put out a fire. Or you could find him walking through a barn with one of his best customers. One place you're sure to find him is your hometown Farm Bureau Insurance Office, helping protect the families and businesses of your community.
Your hometown Farm Bureau Insurance agent can protect your auto, your home, and your life. Please give us a call.
They say knowledge is power.
They're right.
Great. Then I'm powerless.
Come on.
I'm no financial genius. How am I going to make the right decisions?
By getting the right information.
And just how am I going to do that?
Well, you do have the power to change banks.
The knowledge to make the right decision. Get the feeling at INB.
28-7, there's the score. Laz, I want you to listen to this. Maybe when you're 91, you can do this too. Mary Evans turned 91 this past week, and she is a typical IU-crazed fan. Before every game, she sits down in front of the organ, and she plays the IU fight song. Then she plays it again at halftime.
Well, that is great.
Well, Mary, we wish you a happy 91st birthday, and keep it up.
2 of 11 for Butler, just 18%. Indiana's 12 of 24. None of them shots there for Butler. The rebounding about even, though, 12-9 for Indiana.
Nover gets a hand on the ball, but they have a set play on the inbounds. It went to Brenz, and Brenz, as Indiana has committed the 8th foul, that was on Nover. Brenz will go to the line to shoot.
Indiana caught sleeping there on that out-of-bounds play. The long lob pass was open, and Brenz is going to get 2 free throws out of it.
J.P. Brenz is from St. Charles, Illinois, another one of those recruited out of the Illinois area. Butler did not shoot well from the line against Notre Dame. They beat the Fighting Irish 67-60, shooting only 55% from the stripe.
I mentioned last year this Butler team led the nation in free throw shooting, right at 80%, and this year they're having a little trouble. Of course, Archibald led the nation last year, and even he is starting slow. He's missed 3 already this year.
91%, Darren, from the line last year. 89% in his career. Reynolds has to give it up. There's the cut by Nover. Over Brenz. Good block by J.P. Bailey for 3. Nope. Tipped away. Nover. Reynolds.
Good job by Indiana on the boards there, and this is their 3rd chance now to get a hoop at this end of the court.
Brad's kept it alive. Indiana has been a little bit more aggressive going to the ball. Here's Nover. Yes, good. Well, they heard you, lads.
Well, they set the pick again, and they're rolling off the pick, and the guy that's setting the pick has been the one that's been open.
Wilson gives it up to Archibald. Down to the line. And no place to move as Bowen takes the shot and banks it off the glass.
There's some of his game right there. Took a little floater there from the right side, but he was able to penetrate inside to get that shot.
Nover from the corner. Oh, almost tipped in by Butler. Getting a hand on it was Danny Allen. He's 6'8", number 30, handling the ball there. 3. Count them all.
That's Wilson. You see Butler's a little more relaxed now, better in the flow of their offense. 13-12.
Butler still keeps that sticky man-to-man. And a foul. They'll send Indiana back to the line. Greg Graham to shoot. They pick the foul up. It's on Brens, his first. Geis will check back in, replacing Archbold. Archbold just has done nothing. As you said, Laz, I think probably a little tight, but you also made another point to me before the show tonight, and that was that he shoots and scores much better when he's in the flow of the offense.
And of course, Indiana's been keying on him today. Cheney started on, Bailey's been on him for a while. Indiana knew he was the guy they had to stop. And he's had a lot of pressure on him and just has not been able to get the number of shots he needs. But to his benefit, he hasn't taken any bad shots.
That's correct. Indiana not as prolific from the line as Indiana fans would like. 1 of 2 on those efforts by Graham, and the ball is awarded to Butler.
Full court pressure by Indiana. Watch Reynolds on Bowen. See how Chris keeps moving his feet. Bowen gave it up pretty quickly that time.
Allen, pretty good ball handler for 6'8", to Brens. Shows his strength there, pulling that one out. Allen, and the rebound to Bailey. Thought he had room, but it closed up. Oh, Greg Graham's got his shooting on.
Well, that's not like Indiana. 1 pass and a 3-pointer, but Graham felt very comfortable with that shot. At the other end, we've got the charge.
A charging foul called against Butler.
That was Matt Nover. Matt's going to get position on the left part of your screen right there. There's the contact. Nover goes down on the floor, but the call goes his way, and he'll be out of bounds to Indiana. Some more subs now for Indiana.
Jamal is back in. Calvert Cheney is back in. Todd Lindemann, the 7-footer. There he is. From Channing, Michigan, seeing his first action tonight. Adds 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Under to Cheney on a great feed by Jamal.
With Reynolds and Meeks both in the ball game, those other 3 players have got to be alive because that pass could come from anywhere.
Geis. Cheney stops that drive. Bowen. Jamal with his hands and feet set. Butler's trying its best, but they're trailing 36-12 with 4.5 minutes to play. Cheney with pressure goes back out to defend the shot. Comes Indiana. Cheney to Bailey. Bailey right on the baseline behind the corner of the basket. Steal by Indiana. Good effort by Bailey.
Behind the back to get that ball back into play.
2 by Cheney. Boy, Barry Collier needs a timeout here. Good effort again by Bailey.
Same place.
Followed by Cheney after the miss by Reynolds. Collier says timeout. We'll take a timeout. With 3:40 left, it's 42-12. Back after these messages, this is the Raycom Sports Network.
I really need a car I can depend on. We needed a comfortable car, but we also wanted something that would be safe. Well, our Lumina Euro came standard with anti-lock brakes, but it was a real expensive option on the Ford Taurus.
Which makes your only real option Chevy Lumina. With cash back and option packages, you can save up to $1,300 only at your local Chevy dealer.
The car was right. The deal was right. Lumina's the one.
A change is coming, it's understood, happening all over my neighborhood. Only one place got the taste for me, gonna change the Pizza Hut delivery.
Call Pizza Hut Delivery now for the Supreme $4 deal. Get a Supreme Pizza for $8.99 and get any other medium for just $4 more.
Gonna change the Pizza Hut delivery. Pizza Hut delivery, making it great.
Pizza Hut delivers to Indianapolis and surrounding areas. Now, great taste comes home.
After 30 years in business, the Shoebox Shoe Gallery stores of Dallas, Texas closes their doors forever and are forced to sell at auction. And Value City presents part one of the spectacular $20 million shoe store bankruptcy buyout. Over 80,000 pairs of fine quality women's dress, casual, and fashion shoes from many of America's most popular department store and specialty store labels. And best of all, every pair of shoes is priced to save you at least 50 to 70% off comparable retail. Don't miss part one of the $20 million Shoebox Shoe Gallery bankruptcy buyout at all Value City department stores.
Well, as we have, as you look at the score, we have a shot of Damon, and I think what we're going to show, this is the kind of heart that Bob Knight wants to see out of this sophomore.
Watch, he anticipates all the way the other end of the floor, the lob, and the behind-the-back pass to get it into play, although he threw it at the Butler basket. He hoped his teammates were there. He couldn't really see where that ball was going. Reynolds brings it down, comes over to Cheney, little hesitation, goes right in for the hoop.
3 minutes, 38 seconds left to play. First half, Indiana with a command in this game by 30 points, 42-12. Butler having to earn every point they make. Steal up court. Look at that pass. And the hookup. Reynolds. No. Tipped up and in by Cheney. He's everywhere tonight.
Oh, what a pass by Meeks. He saved the ball from going out of bounds all the way to the 10-second line. Reynolds took it the rest of the way.
Archbold. Double team, puts it up, and gets his first basket. That's good extra effort by Derek.
One thing he does well, he knifes between players like that, and he's so close to the basket, it makes that shot a little easier.
Cheney. That's only two, and Lindemann has it knocked out of his hand, but stepped on the line.
Did a nice job. He hustled for that ball, came up with it, it got slapped away. By the time he could recover it, he had his foot on the out-of-bounds line.
If we can, let's watch the defensive position that Lindemann takes on Brenz underneath. Brenz with a lot more experience. He's a junior. Todd really likes to play physical game. That's the book on him coming out of high school. Likes to mix it up.
Meeks now on Archbold. Darren's running inside off some picks to try to get open.
Yeah, the switch has been made, and we have a foul underneath. It's going to be backing in foul. It is backing in foul called on Brenz.
Well, you just talked about that matchup that Lindemann likes to be physical inside. See if our cameras picked it up. Watch there at the top of your screen. Lindemann's leaning on him, trying to get his arm around him. And Brenz, I didn't see the foul there. Brenz got called for it. It looked like Lindemann had been reaching around. And the foul, however, goes against Brenz. Lindemann be at the line.
Todd Leary in the lineup for the Hoosiers. Two Todds in there now. Lindemann at the line. A bit strong. Butler over the limit of 10, so that's now a two-shot opportunity for Indiana. Indiana picked up about 3 or 4 fouls very quickly there, and then they've gone the last couple of minutes without committing a foul. That second shot rolls around. Bailey goes right back and Larry goes right back up and puts it in.
Ball hung on the rim so long, everything kind of cleared out. Left a wide open pass for Larry. He got the hoop.
And a hand in there, and a foul.
The reach by Cheney that time. Didn't need to do that. He comes right over. See Coach Knight. He's got his second foul now. Indiana has done a great job on that trap. When the ball comes inside, Indiana's helping from the outside. The only shot that Butler's been able to get on that is the pass back outside and a long jumper.
Indiana going with Meeks, Reynolds, Leary, small lineup. Now Henderson's going to come back in. And let's see who Allen replaces. And he's going to replace Calvin. So it's going to be Meeks, Reynolds, Henderson, and Lindemann, along with Leary.
Talk about inside scoring for Indiana. Cheney's got 15 points as he comes out. Eric Anderson only 2. But Anderson got in foul trouble. He has not played a large part here in this first half.
2 minutes, 2 seconds left in the first 20 minutes. Friends with his second, and it's not going to go, and Henderson clears for the Hoosiers to Leary. And telegraph that. Here comes Geis. And he'll have to back it out. Oh, good hands. They call a foul. Burl Sell makes the call. And Bob Knight's not pleased about that.
Quick action here. Good steal by Butler. But Geis loses control here. Nearly does anyway. He picks it back up. Quick pass inside. Jamal. They called Jamal from hitting from the back side there. As Reynolds was stripping the ball from the front.
Reynolds had nothing but ball. Here's Taylor. Taylor's 62% through the first 2 games. And that's the only place he scored tonight is from the line. Good look at the young man from Matson, Illinois. He has 4. Butler has 17. And Indiana has the ball with 1:47 left to play in the first half.
Look at the pressure Archibald's putting on outside there on Leary.
Now Meeks way back out in backcourt to pick it up. Henderson, good rotation. You can see that ball just work right off the finger.
You're exactly right. He puts a good spin on that ball. It's a nice soft shot. It doesn't take him long to get the release on that. It's a quick shot.
48-17, 1:12 left to go. Archibald from outside. And here's Meeks with the loose ball.
3-on-2, good play. Slowed it down. Got it back out to Reynolds.
Henderson misses that. Chases it down to the glass, but he's fouled.
That's one thing that's tough for a shooter to do, Chuck. They take that shot, and a lot of guys like to watch it, see how it's going. And Henderson made the shot, or took the shot, went right after it, saw the ball come right back his way, and now he's going to end up on the line. Barry Collier not happy with the call.
Well, you played with a man here at IU, Laz, who was very good at doing the same thing you complimented Allen on. That's Scott May. Scott was as gifted as he was in taking possession rebounds. When he'd take a shot any farther out than 8 to 10 feet, he was following the shot, whether it was good or not.
Now, Steve Green and I, though, Chuck, we like to watch our shots. We'd take that shot, just wait till it hit the net. It didn't always do that, though.
45 seconds left. 48-17 is the score. Archibald has a hand on his back, and I think they're going to call Leary on that. No basket. It is. It's on Todd, his first foul. And now both teams are over the 10 limit, so Archibald will be shooting.
Let's watch this free throw. All you youngsters out there, this fella right here, 35, Darren Archibald, led the nation in free throw shooting last year. Watch what he does here. Takes a long look at the basket, takes a couple dribbles, and he does the same routine every time he's up there. Talked him out of that one, didn't I? He's missed 4 shots already this year.
Really.
After shooting 91% last year.
And 89% over his career. Hits this one, however. That's only his 3rd point.
We'll keep that routine, Chuck. The next time we need a guy to miss a free throw, I'll run into that little spiel again there. We'll see what happens.
Well, we'll get some mail on that problem. Leary in the corner. Works it out. In front of the basket for 2. Todd Leary's second field goal, and Indiana with 50 points and 13 seconds to go. Out, side. Bowen for three. No. Rebound to Henderson. Up to Meeks. And the buzzer sounds before Chris Reynolds can get the shot to the glass. So that's the end of the first half here at Assembly Hall in Bloomington with the score, Indiana 50, Butler 18. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By your local 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. By Counter Lock and Load Closed Handling System. And by Farm Bureau Insurance and the more than 600 Farm Bureau insurance agents across Indiana.
Corn growers, rootworm protection has taken on a whole new shape. Introducing the Lock and Load Closed Handling System. The new, safer way to handle your insecticide. Each lock and load container opens automatically when attached to your planter lid. Just lock it on and it loads. It's fast, easy, and dust-free. New Lock and Load. Available only at your Cyanamid Agri-Center dealer.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Let's see. A mountain man must be fearless, sure-footed, willing to answer the call of the wild. But most of all, a mountain man should be thirsty for a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and see if you have what it takes to be a real mountain man.
Thousands of Hoosiers say they need help to boost America's economy. Today's special report looks at the results of the Help Wanted campaign. This fall, a number of institutions and individuals in the Indianapolis area announced the start of an innovative citizen education project called Help Wanted. Its purpose was to make more citizens aware of some crucial questions facing our country.
We have a problem. We dump 26% of our kids on the street every year with no skills, no jobs, and no hope. And as a society, we're creating an enormous welfare liability as we do that year in and year out. We must do better.
The role of Indiana University, of course, is to educate. I have to say, we haven't educated the public about the basic link between competitiveness and the decline in competitiveness and education in a skilled workforce. That's what this campaign is all about. My thanks to you for participating in it, for helping in it, for ensuring it will be a success. It must be a success.
Through intensive media coverage and community debate, Help Wanted hoped to provide information and build a consensus.
Its purpose to inform Hoosiers about the vital link between quality education and economic success, and to get them involved in affecting change. Channel 13 in the Star and News will present intensive news coverage to focus attention on the critical issues behind that link.
The Help Wanted project was conducted simultaneously with Hartford and Phoenix, and earlier this year in Nashville, Tennessee. At the close of the campaign, ballots were distributed asking for views on education and commerce issues. Phone surveys were conducted to augment the data. The results are being compiled by the IUPUI campus in Indianapolis. While not considered a truly scientific survey, this information is likely to reflect the opinion of a large number of Hoosiers concerned about educational change. Analysis is still in progress, but already trends of consensus are emerging from among those who responded. For example, more than 80% feel there should be a national program that teaches adults to read and write. About the same number said that students should start learning math and science in kindergarten and later pass an achievement test for high school graduation. A majority expressed the fear that Americans lack the basic skills to compete in a global economy.
Then all of this information will be communicated, starting with President Bush, going right through the Senate and the House, into our legislators all across the country, other elected officials, business officials, laborers, unions, in fact, everybody.
Central Indiana is likely to benefit by the growing public concern over educational and economic issues brought into clearer focus as the Help Wanted project concludes.
We're back here at Indiana University's Assembly Hall, where the Hoosiers lead the Butler Bulldogs 50-18. Now let's take a look at our fun scoreboard for tonight. Chicago State and Ohio State, that's a halftime score. And Chicago State, no contest there. Ohio State with a commanding lead. Northwestern with a lead over Columbia. And that could be somewhat surprising, although Bill Foster may have that team playing pretty well this year. Howard University is playing at Minnesota. We have no report from there yet. And at halftime, Illinois with a commanding lead over Northeast Louisiana, 50-35. Wisconsin will be playing at Portland later this evening. We'll be back with more halftime activities following these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
You asked for Formula One performance. You asked for the ultimate in performance luxury. You asked for performance and economic versatility. Then you asked for all three. Introducing the new Acura Vigor.
Whatever the time of day, I know I can depend on the full, rich flavor of MG bacon.
Boy, Mom, that looks great.
Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking.
MG, taste the quality. Nothing beats the great taste of MG ham. It's tender and juicy with a full, rich flavor that's just right for any occasion.
Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking.
MG, taste the quality.
Every night across Indiana, Bedroom One families snuggle into their waterbeds for another warm, cozy sleep. And who puts the warmth in a Bedroom One waterbed? Waterbed heaters from Sunbeam, a name you know means quality. Sunbeam heaters let you control the warmth of your waterbed just the way you like it. Sleep warm tonight, and every night you can on a new waterbed from Bedroom One, heated by Sunbeam.
I really need a car I can depend on. We needed a comfortable car, but we also wanted something that would be safe. Well, our Lumina Euro came standard with anti-lock brakes, but it was a real expensive option on the Ford Taurus.
Which makes your only real option Chevy Lumina. With cash back and option packages, you can save up to $1,300 only at your local Chevy dealer.
The car was right, the deal was right. Lumina's the one.
Two in-state rivalries are coming to TTV4. Monday night at 7:30, Purdue battles Indiana State, and Tuesday night, IU takes on Notre Dame.
Laz, your impressions as we look at this score, impressions of the first half so far.
Well, I don't think Indiana could have played any better than they did. To have a big lead like that, 50-18, they took away the offense that Butler needed, and that on their offensive end, Indiana got the ball inside. Cheney's got 15 points. I don't think there's anything Coach could ask for better than what he saw today.
You know, we talked beforehand about the defense trying to be as polished as it could be, playing Indiana's defense. And maybe if we get a chance sometime, we'll talk about the rules of defense, defensive positions.
Well, needless to say, they executed them. I'd mentioned in the open that Indiana's come a long way in the last 2 weeks from that UCLA game, and I think you could see that today. Also, the intensity was so much greater today. In UCLA, they didn't seem to be in the ball game emotionally. And a couple times in today's ball game, they'd make that steal, and then the emotion would arise, and of course, that got the crowd going. So it's really been a great first half for Indiana.
Good hustle by Bailey in the first half.
Yes, Bailey's done a nice job. Everybody who's gotten in there has been excited, and you can see that is contagious. One player gets it. I think Reynolds is really the one that started that, and then other players get to it, and they're tough to stop.
Okay, we're at halftime. The score 50-18, Indiana with the lead. And we'll be back with the Farm Bureau Insurance halftime report following these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
Barbecue? Right now? Bag it? McDonald's? Hey, McRib. Now you're talking. We'll take 4.
McDonald's, for food, folks, and fun. Strong.
And you thought you liked McDonald's 59-cent hamburgers and 69-cent cheeseburgers? Well, McDonald's McRib sandwich is back. But you'd better hurry in and try one because it won't be around for long.
Maybe it's because we read the same newspaper that you do.
Ready to get started?
Or because we attend the same meetings. Or because we volunteer for the same causes. We're a bank big enough to do business on Wall Street, but still we prefer to do it on Main Street, keeping deposits right here to make loans for homes and businesses. Why? Well, because it's our community, too.
TTV4 is Indiana's sports station. Tuesday night, the Hoosiers take on the Fighting Irish, coverage beginning at 7:30. And in 2 weeks, see the Butler Bulldogs.
You're watching Indiana's sports station.
Now to halftime report brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Well, let's take a look at these halftime stats, Les. I'm really certain that we're going to see an overwhelming advantage for Indiana in both shooting and defensive play as well as rebound.
We mentioned in the first 5 minutes Indiana played so well, and you can see it in the stats here. Butler just 5 of 20. Indiana took twice as many shots. They're 22 of 40 at 55%. Butler did get to the line more, but it's inconsequential at this point. 3-point shots. Butler having a tough time at just 2 for 9. Indiana 4 of 6. And there you see the field goal, 67% for Indiana. A big rebounding advantage, 24-11. I mentioned that'd be a big key to the game. Turnovers 12 for Butler. Indiana with just 5. Indiana scoring, Calbert Cheney with 15 points. Damon Bailey with 2 3-pointers. He's got 10. Greg Graham 7. Henderson 6. Reynolds and Nover each have 4. For Butler at the half, John Taylor, the leading scorer, with just 4 points. And then Wilson and Geis, Archbold and Brenz all have 3 each. Bowen just 2. Let's take a look at J.P. Brenz inside with some first half action. This Archbold with the ball. He gets it inside to Brenz. Look how mobile this guy is. Sneaks right between 2 Indiana defenders. He's a little off balance there. Uses the glass nicely and gets the shot to drop. And Calbert Cheney at the other end. He had a great first half, 15 points. The player's really confident he can do something with the ball. This was the back cut play that Meeks threw the perfect bounce pass. Cheney came up with it, went in for the jam.
And that's the Farm Bureau Insurance halftime report. We'll be back with more halftime activities following these messages.
In 1953, I knocked on the door that leads to success. That was the year I became an Indiana University freshman. Later, when I entered the job market, I discovered a world of opportunity was open to me. That's one of the reasons why Dow Chemical is a major supporter of the IU chemistry program. We know that many of tomorrow's leaders will start right here. I did, and I'm proud to be an IU alumnus. Indiana University lets you do great things.
How to live like a mountain man. A true mountain man lives a solitary life, living for nothing more than an honest day's work and the rugged companionship of his fellow mountain men. It's a full-time job, but it does have its rewards, like smooth bush beer and easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains. Because once a mountain man has his mountains, what more could he possibly want?
Getting around town, nothing outperforms your phone. So make the call before you make the drive.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. by your local 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. By Counter Lock and Load Closed Handling System. And by Farm Bureau Insurance and the more than 600 Farm Bureau Insurance agents across Indiana. We're back once again as you look at a very happy IU pom-pom squad. Indiana will host Notre Dame next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock here at Assembly Hall. And tickets for the Bank One Classic, December 7th at the Hoosier Dome, are still available. That's IU versus Kentucky. The tickets are available at the Hoosier Dome, all Ticketmaster outlets, and at Assembly Hall. And as long as we're talking about it, Indiana also has tickets left for the Indiana Classic, December 13th and 14th. The INB Hoosier Classic at Market Square Arena on the 27th and 28th of December. And the Big Ten opener January 9th against Minnesota.
As you can see, Chuck, by the evidence in this first half, this is an exciting team to watch. Indiana had 17 offensive rebounds in the first half. That's unbelievable. We've gone for 17's been the total, let alone on the offensive end. Eric Anderson has 4. Cheney has 3. That is an excellent job on the boards. We mentioned that'd be a key part of the game. Coach Knight has got to be very pleased. I'm sure what he wants to see now, though, is that continued effort. Maybe not the same result, but surely that continued effort that he got out of this team in the first half.
Well, let me ask you a question. You've seen several practices along with me, and you've seen the progress of this team. Do you see a close? No, there's a cut by Archibald as Indiana got caught napping and got behind that play. Archibald starts out the second half with the first field goal for Butler. Do you see a more closeness of this team?
Well, I think I've seen it a little more since Reynolds got back in the lineup. Of course, these guys all played together last year. Look at that move by Anderson as he comes across on the left there and throws that soft bank shot up.
Well, let's see what changes Barry Collier has made with his team at halftime. There's a little give and go and a block by Anderson. He's picked up his 4th foul.
Well, right away, I've noticed, Chuck, they seem a little looser. They did a nice job on the out-of-bounds play to get Archibald a shot on the layup. And right there you saw Taylor. He sets the pick, comes right off. He's not afraid to go right up there. He knows Anderson's coming out. But I don't see any hesitation in their game now. I think they were a little nervous, a little tight when the game started. Yep. Now they've already got 2 points and a half. Here's a chance for 2 more.
John Taylor, the sophomore, misses the first. Taylor had 4 points in the first half. He's averaging 13.5 points and had 18 against Notre Dame the other night at the ACC Center in South Bend. Hits the second. Anderson now playing with 4 fouls. So let's see if they want to take it to Anderson. I would just suspect that Butler is going to play its game, and they recognize there are other things besides Eric Anderson that are causing them trouble, such as that. A feed from Reynolds to Greg Graham.
Well, the offense by Indiana has been excellent. That point guard is keeping his head up. Several times now, a pass from the outside has led to an easy layup right at the basket with that good pass.
Geis to Taylor. Knocked away. This is Bowen. 5'8". Playing among the tall trees tonight. Geis for 3. No. Good block out by Nover. Now Indiana with the ball and the lead. Cheney hits Anderson for 2.
He's worked a lot on that shot, being set when the ball comes to him. He's shown early in the year he can make that shot. Missed a lot of the first half of that foul trouble, but came out ready to shoot here.
Good help out switch by Nover at that time to stop the dribble, let Reynolds get over and pick up his man. Over again steps out. Anderson, arms high in the air, as a great left-handed hook by J.P. Brenz finds the mark.
Brenz just backed him right up to the basket that time. Once that pass goes in, it's too late to play that deep.
And a whistle. And it's going to go against Indiana, and I think it's probably a push-off on Nover.
Personal
Call it
number 24.
On that, his second.
His second personal, the team second.
That's the second against Indiana. Butler has yet to commit a foul.
in the second half.
Not nearly as sharp here in the early going. 2 minutes into this half, several mistakes already by Indiana.
Over Anderson, Brems for 2 more.
He's got his offensive game now. Again, he's got his back to the basket. He gets the ball. He knows what to do with it once he does get it.
Well, Laz, now let me ask you something. Obviously, the coach doesn't like to see this change in intensity or tempo, but isn't that just sort of a natural inclination with such an enormous lead?
Well, it can be, Chuck, but the players are really taught not to look at the scoreboard as much as you are watching the play that you're in. Like a three-point shot now by Geis. They got scorekeepers to keep the score. You guys just go out there and play, work on your defense and your offense.
Oh, what a feed. Graham for 2 more. Boy, I'll tell you, he just threaded a needle with that.
Boy, excellent passing again from the outside. Both Meeks and Reynolds finding the open men.
60-28. And we have not yet played 3.5 minutes. Taylor, again, good step out by Nova to stop that dribble.
Nearly the 5-second call there. Bowen got open.
3 more, and that's not going to fall. And Nova doing a good job on the boards to start this second half. Cheney down to the line, behind the back to Anderson. 3 on the way. Yes. No, they say only 2 on the line.
Swung his right foot up to get in position as he did. He just stepped on the line. Great form that time by Reynolds.
Taylor looking. He wants to go to Brems. Well, there's no room at all as Indiana really sagging back. Anderson from the top and Nova underneath. There's Nova. And out of bounds off Reynolds. Good pressure again by Indiana. We have our first timeout in the second half. 15:50 left to go. 62-28 Indiana. Back after these messages.
The Indiana University Athletic Department official Big Red Gift Center catalog is now available. It's the only source for authentic athletic apparel and equipment worn and used by Indiana varsity athletes, like champion basketball practice gear, official coaching staff hats for football and baseball, bench chairs just like an assembly hall, workout t-shirts, and much more. All proceeds from this catalog go to the Athletic Scholarship Fund. Call toll-free 1-800-622-6707, 1-800-622-6707 to reserve your free copy.
In retail, there are 2 absolute laws. The customer is always right.
You say they were anchovies, they're anchovies, all right?
And the competition is always right behind you. Reason enough to have a GTE phone system beside you. Because we can show you ways to use it to be more productive.
Yeah, hello, sales.
Even get new and repeat business. Call us, because your competition is also watching this commercial.
You take me back to that feeling. Remember that great feeling of rolling down the road, knowing your car is safe and running right? Your professional automotive takes you to keep that great feeling. That's why more and more of America's top professionals are installing top-quality CarQuest parts. You depend on them to fix your car right the first time, and they depend on CarQuest for their parts. And CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
All right, let's take a look at this young man, Jermaine Geis, for Butler.
Stayed right behind that line, quickly up with the shot, and he gets the 3-pointer. Now for Indiana, pass inside. That was Reynolds outside. He hits Graham inside for the layup.
Time's back in. Butler with the ball. Archbold.
Butler's 4 of 6 here in the second half at 67, but Indiana's only missed 1 at 6 out of 7.
Archbold trying to create something, draws the foul. Graham came off his feet, and he commits the foul. His first.
Personal foul,
Darren Archbold reminds me a lot of a lot of players that you've seen down through the years who, when they're not scoring too well, they just start doing everything they can to create opportunities to shoot. And he figures, hey, I'm 91% from the line last year. I've got to earn my way back there this year, but that's where I'm going to get points. So he gets the line.
He only took 4 shots in the first half. He realized the defense was really clamping down on, so instead of forcing him, took his time. Let's watch this for him. See how he snaps that wrist off so well?
From Marco, Indiana, played at Norwell. Archibald now has 7. Back out to Anderson. And 2 more for Eric.
Shot fake there. He gets the defense to go by him. One quick dribble gets him to about 15 feet.
Bold. Archibald back up again. No good. Nover once again. Another board. Graham. Anderson all alone. Nover off the mark and rebound pulled down by Taylor.
Didn't get his feet set that time as momentum carried him a little to the right. That's the shot missed off to the right.
Anderson lets him go in. That loose ball is picked up and dropped over the edge of the rim by Jermaine Geis.
See, Indiana not nearly as sharp. Butler got 18 points in the entire first half. They've already got 14 here. They've only played 5.5 minutes. Look at that shot.
Oh, my. Cheney is showing you a lot of tricks in his bag tonight.
Just reached out from the baseline there. A little spin on that ball. Went right in.
Archibald before the shot and a foul. And we're going to call that on Taylor. We were told that the officials this year in the Big Ten are going to be very, very conscious of the use of the elbow.
That was on the pick. Taylor was coming down to set the pick for Archibald. And Ed Hightower makes that out of bounds to Indiana.
So we had an example of it there. We had an example in the first half. Let's just let's watch to see how the officials perform the rest of the year, whether or not that is true. Nover in front of the basket. No. Meeks. Back to Nover. And another whistle, and that's again going against Butler.
Indiana still moving well inside. Meeks is the point guard outside. Everybody else cutting around, setting the picks. And that's going to be 5 on Taylor. Butler does not substitute a lot. That's why they still had Taylor in the ball game with 4 fouls. And he leads at the 13:48 mark.
Michael Wilson replaces him. Taylor leaves with 5. Wilson with just 3 points. And that came on a 3-point shot. Bailey knocked away.
Guy slapped that one from behind, and Butler makes the steal.
Cheney almost had a hand on that ball, on that pass. Over the top of the board, Indiana ball. Well, you're right, Laz. This game is picking up a lot of raggedness for Indiana in the second half.
Yeah, it's just something about that halftime break. You mentioned it, Chuck. It's hard to keep that same intensity at the half. But this is good for Indiana. They've got to learn to play 2 good halves. Look at the steal now by Butler.
Well, Anderson took it right in the Geis that time. Jermaine responds with the steal and 2 points. (66-34) Indiana. Anderson jammed under the basket. And the blue jerseys of the Bulldogs come away with the ball. Archibald to Geis.
Cheney moved his feet well that time to cut the baseline off. Come right back to Geis, though. He's going to do it again.
And a bump. Count the basket. And the foul against Indiana.
Good quickness there by Geis. 6'2", 175 pounds, just a sophomore. The first time Cheney was able to stop him, but the next time Cheney was a half a step behind, as Coach Knight talks to him about. Let's watch Butler now as they make the steal here. Henderson on the dribble. The swipe here by Geis, and he's going all the way to the other end. One on nobody.
Dice can't get that one to fall. Henderson clears it for Indiana. 66-36. The Hoosiers by 30. And more importantly, Indiana just not making smart passes now. Oh, great effort there by J.P. Brems. Lost the ball, waited, put up a shot fake to get Nova off his feet, and then scored 2 more.
And brings the crowd to their feet a little bit here. Indiana only had 5 turnovers the whole first half.
Great steal by Geis. Check that. That's Wilson. That's no good. Boy, Wilson just took that ball away as Bailey was going up for the shot. To Nova from Meeks.
Well, the outside guard play has been excellent, beating that ball to the inside.
Bowen. And there's a hands-on check by Jamal.
That's a silly foul because Bowen was 25 feet from the basket, not taking the shot, just working on the dribble.
Well, we have a timeout, yes, at the 11:37 mark. It's Indiana 68-38. We'll be back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
I really need a car I can depend on. We needed a comfortable car, but we also wanted something that would be safe. Well, our Lumina Euro came standard with anti-lock brakes, but it was a real expensive option on the Ford Taurus.
Which makes your only real option Chevy Lumina. With cash back and option packages, you can save up to $1,300 only at your local Chevy dealer.
The car was right, the deal was right. Lumina's the one.
Chasing information can often take more time and energy than you care to spend. So at the Merchants National Companies, we respond by the next business day or sooner to any question we can't answer immediately. Or give you this, $10 for helping us improve your service. When you need information, we promise not to play hard to get. A greenback guarantee from the Merchants National Companies. Nobody makes banking easier.
Cancer. For many of us, it's the scariest word we know. But here at the St. Vincent Cancer Center, a lot of battles are being won through early detection, teams of dedicated specialists, and advanced technology. We're also winning with remarkable new therapy, including Indiana's only biotherapy program. We'd like for you to know more about early detection. It could be a major factor in your life. It was in mine.
For early detection information, call the St. Vincent Cancer Center.
Well, not everything has been peaches and honey for Indiana in the second half, Les.
Watch the pass now, though, by Meeks. He gets it into Damon, but Butler makes the great block there. Turnovers now 12-5. Indiana in the first half. Indiana's already picked up 4 here. Butler just 1. Can sure turn things around quickly. As you get a look at Barry Collier there on the Butler bench, he's got to be pleased with the effort his team has shown here early in the second half.
They're trying 3, and boy, they get 3. Wilson finds the range. That's only his second field goal, and both from three-point area.
And there's the 5th turnover now by Indiana. Just a little impatient with that ball, and they don't have to be. Look at the expression there on Collier's face. You can see how things are going so much better for his team here in the second half.
Well, the margin is only 27 points now. Up and off the rim. No. There's Bailey. Indiana back quickly, but so is Butler. To Bailey. That's not going to go. Henderson back up. Miss.
Henderson's got a knack for that offensive rebound, but as he exploded the basket, just put a little too much on that rebound.
And then hits from 17 feet.
He is quite a talent out there. We've seen him on the rebounding end. We've seen him on the shooting end.
Archibald. Galt is in the lineup. He's fighting for post position. Now they go away. This is Galt. Archibald behind a screen for 2.
There's that shot. Doesn't take him long to get that release. His confidence seems to be up here a little bit in the second half.
Tipped away, Indiana ball. Nearing the 10-minute mark, 70-43 Indiana. Butler still maintaining pretty doggone good pressure on Indiana defensively.
Their style is not going to change. That he can't get the roll.
Short. Bowen. And a bump. And a block shot by Henderson, but it's going to be after the foul.
Now that's what Bowen was not able to do in the first half. You can see how he is toward that basket. Henderson came over to make the block, but Meeks had fouled him on the drive.
Reynolds is back in. Meeks sits down. Jamal having some problems here in the second half.
See if they run an out-of-bounds play for Archibald like Indiana runs for Cheney. No, looks like it was a feed in, and Archibald was going to set a back pick.
Wilson from outside for 3 more. He's got 9.
He's made a couple here quickly after being substituted here in the second half.
Cheney. Oh, boy, does he go. Does he go. And they call the foul on Cheney.
Well, they're going to count the basket, though. Galt was there with the position. And Cheney went right over the top of it. Let's watch now. The shot fake. Galt's there. Look at Cheney get that ball through. Reynolds showing a little emotion there. And the foul goes on Calvert. What a play.
That's the 4th on Calvert. Anderson's with 4, but he's on the bench. Galt with the first of a 1-on-1. Wade Galt is a senior, 6'6", from Logansport. Counts them both.
Makes up for the shot at the other end. Anderson's going to check back in for Indiana.
And he'll replace Cheney. We have 9 minutes, 24 seconds left. Clock is running. Indiana with the lead in the ball. After a great first half, saw Indiana build up a 50 to 18-point lead. Look at Henderson. To the glass, misses, goes back up, tips it in, but he's fouled.
Tell you, he has got such an explosive leap as he goes up. He's almost anticipating some muscle or some hands on that ball. Watch how he gets up quickly. Now he's gathering himself underneath, but then he just threw it up a little too far. Watch Cheney on the bench now. Look at him. He's up. There's a lot more motion in the last 2 games than we saw in the UCLA game for the season opener, and that's a big key to this team, is to be mostly involved in each game. Henderson makes the first shot.
Allen has 10. Indiana has 74 and a 74-48-point lead. Fans wanted a foul. Bailey takes it through traffic and then backs it out to Anderson. No. Archibald high in the air. Butler trying to make a game of it, coming back, and once again going into a very deliberate offense. There's the cut by Archibald.
Good help by Anderson. He cut that drive away.
High arching shot. Blocked away by Henderson.
Henderson had a chance for that rebound, but his timing was off, and that allowed Beaufort to get that rebound. Let's watch now. He tries to go back up with it. This is a way to block a shot. Wait till it leaves the player's hand and then knock it. Hopefully not out of bounds. That time there was the only place to go.
Wilson.
Well, Wilson's really got his shot right now. A little off balance that time.
And a foul. Reaching in, Galt across the wrist. Will send Eric to the line as... Now let's wait to see whether they say he was in the act of shooting. No, he was not.
His first personal, the team's fourth.
Called it on the drive. Coach Knight wants it on the shot, but that's not going to be the call. Fourth team foul on Butler, so they're still 3 away from the bonus.
Anderson misses, but Henderson follows. No basket. And Burl Sell says it was over the ring. Offensive goaltending. Let's look.
He was not the outside official. You can see Burl on the side actually coming in the front. Not going to be able to tell from that angle. Look how high Henderson is with that shot. Let's see here from the outside. Oh no, that's a bad call. Let the ball just come off the end of the rim, and Henderson grabbed it.
No basket. 74-50. J.P. Brins, no place to go. 3 on the way as Bailey pulls down the missed shot. Oh, Indiana's put it in 4th gear.
Well, that's a great play. Bailey never looked over to acknowledge Graham was there, but just knew he was. And then Graham did a nice job moving that ball around to get the shot.
And Graham just couldn't grab on to that. Out of bounds to Butler after we come back from this timeout. 7.5 minutes left. Indiana 76-50. Back after these messages.
Who's that, Dad?
That's our Farm Bureau insurance agent. She insures her car.
Oh. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
There's the lady who insures our car.
She insures our house, too.
Isn't it nice to know that the same Farm Bureau insurance agent who insures your car and your home can insure your life, too?
Gosh, you're everywhere.
Call your Farm Bureau insurance agent for all your insurance needs.
Amex Coal Industries proudly presents the high-energy play of the game, the outstanding individual play from IU's last televised game.
He's been featured here before, and he'll probably be here again. Against the Soviets, Chris Reynolds showed what the Amex high-energy play of the game is all about. Early in the second half, Reynolds twice took the ball and simply out-hustled the Soviets to the other end for the basket. He showed a little emotional high energy as well. Welcome back, Chris.
The high-energy play of the game from Amex Coal Industries.
Welcome to Mountain Man 101. Let's begin. This is a mountain man. Notice his love of great natural beauty, his instinctive resourcefulness, his healthy respect for a fine pair of cowboy boots. However, the easiest way to identify a mountain man is to look at his hands, which will no doubt be holding a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and learn to live life as a man among men.
Well, there's the grand man of college basketball, Laz.
Tony Hinkle, as he leaves the arena today. Interesting note, Norm Ellenberger, one of the assistant coaches at IU, there's Norm right there in the white sweater. He played his college ball at Butler under Tony Hinkle, and Norm, he's got a little smile on his face as he sees his old coach one more time.
All right, it'll be Butler ball as Archibald looks to throw it in. And they come right to the man. That's a set play again. They've worked it more times than not. J.P. Brins. Bailey. Great move by Greg Graham.
Wow, look at that. He knew he didn't have the size advantage, so he hesitated as long as he could. Lost his balance, but got the shot. And there's an offensive foul. Bowen trying to go over Reynolds with good position. A lot more emotion today. Let's watch that last inbounds play by Butler. Archibald comes right in. Brins goes right up with it.
That was all set up by Brins when Archibald started the play. Brins went over and screened, released the screen after the cutter had made his move, and then just slid over on the baseline. Anderson. And a foul.
Again, has really moved the ball well today and getting it in a position to get to the open man. There you saw another example, but a foul before Graham could get the shot away. Again, called it not in the act of shooting, so out of bounds to Indiana.
And that foul, again, was on Bowen. His third now, and the 6th against Butler. Bowen comes out. Geis back in. Graham to Anderson on the post. Back to Graham. Another great move by Eric.
That's good offense there. As Anderson got the ball the first time, he felt the double team. He went back out to Graham, and then goes right back inside again for another opportunity.
Archibald and a reach in by Eric Anderson. It's going to be personal foul number 5. Well, Eric had the position. Archibald was going to make the move anyway. Eric hadn't quite closed it up, and he just reached in.
Right. Once you're not in a position to take that charge, you're better off letting the guy go. Bailey had good position on the inside, and that'll be Anderson's 5th foul as he comes out of the ball game. He had 10 points, only 2 in the first half. Finished with 8 here in the second, but not a good foul. He just reached there instead of getting his feet in position.
Nover checks back in. Matt Nover with 2 personals, 8 points, replaces Anderson, who has fouled out. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left to play. Butler's made more of a game of it here in the second half as Archibald hits the first. He had only 3 at halftime, has added 7 here in the second half, and has played foul-free. He's not the kind of a young man that guards you terribly closely, Laz.
He's in there to do some scoring. He keeps good position offensively. I was checking out his form there on those free throws. Again, he must have been a little nervous on that first one because he's made 5 in a row since then.
Nover follows after the miss by Reynolds. Good drive to the basket. Good hustle by Geis. And he not only gets the basket, he gets a foul.
Well, the defense is really breaking down here in the second half. And that time a drive all the way from the outside. Nobody steps over. Watch Geis now. 22. He's coming all the way from the outside. Bailey's not in good position. And he drives all the way for the layup. We saw that in the UCLA game quite a bit. There you see Reynolds. Understand better why he got beat there. And Geis making it all the way in. Substitution also as Reynolds goes out.
Meeks is back in. Henderson with the board. Jamal protects the ball. Geis with another near steal. A little give and go. Over to Allen. Henderson from Jamal Meeks.
Quick hands there. The pass first to Meeks and then right over to Anderson. Good hand-to-eye coordination there by both players.
Brands. And he travels. That was Nover defending, and a little bit of help from another Indiana player that forced J.P. Brands into the turnover.
You see Barry Collier. This will be a good film for him to watch this week. The first half, he's not going to see a lot of good things, although he will see some of the mistakes Butler made. And just as Indiana watched that UCLA game and corrected their mistake, Damon comes out with 8 points. Butler can learn from that first half some of the things they could correct, because in the second half, they really have played a better ball game. And he can compare that first half to the second and see some of the things they did do correctly. Now they've got 56 points, so almost 40 points. They've got 38 points here in the second half.
Archibald comes out. Bowen replaces him. Darren has really been tested in virtually every aspect of the game here tonight. Tip to up. No, it was not touched. Give the basket to Henderson.
Henderson floated in there from the left side and then got that shot to fall off the backboard.
Bowen backs it out. 5.5 minutes left to play. Butler still searching for more points. More offense. Wilson.
Good defense defense there by the guards because Bowen doesn't have anywhere to go.
Geis lets it fly.
And one shot, the rebound. That's good half-court defense there by Indiana.
Leary takes it into the middle. Look who's got it. Anderson misses. Brenz. Out to Bowen. Well, he's not afraid to take it inside. And he dishes it off. And the big fella, 6'9", J.P. Brenz, gets his 13th point.
Strong, he leaps quickly. He's going to be a good player. He's just a junior now, so he'll have another year.
Feed to Nover to Graham.
One thing that has been one of Indiana's strong points today is that passing. The ball's moved around, sometimes in a short distance. We have players have been aware of that and hung on to it.
No. Oh, that's a great move. That is just a super move by Wilson.
Henderson was in position to block that, but he couldn't get around the rim as Wilson used that rim to help him get that shot away.
Meeks really hawked by Bowen. From the side, Todd Leary. 90-60. Back to a 30-point Indiana lead with 3.5 minutes left to play in this game. Well, Butler will go to 2-1. Indiana to 1-1 as Geis fires, follows, misses. Now rebound. Up to Nova.
Blocked by Henderson that time. Right.
Leary. Indiana not with very much patience on that offensive effort. Geis. And Brenz from outside puts the ball down pretty well.
There you saw it. One dribble from the outside. He is able to get that shot away. He's got 15 now, and he's Butler's leading scorer.
Well, over the outstretched arm. Meeks tries to hook up with Graham. It'll be Butler ball when we come back. 2:46 remaining. 90-62 Indiana. We'll be back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
Some people say we're a big bank because we've grown to over $14 billion in assets. Others will tell you it's because we loaned over $500 million to businesses last year.
You got it.
And still others will say it's because our brokerage service traded more than $2.5 billion in securities. We're a bank big enough to do business on Wall Street. Yet one of the biggest reasons for our success is that we prefer to do it on Main Street.
Barbecue? Right now? Bag it? McDonald's? Hey, McRib. Now you're talking. We'll take 4.
McDonald's? For food, folks, and fun. Show.
And you thought you liked McDonald's 59-cent hamburgers and 69-cent cheeseburgers? Well, McDonald's McRib sandwich is back. But you'd better hurry in and try one because it won't be around for long.
Well, as one of the keys for Butler in this second half has been the play of their center, J.P. Brenz.
He's showing all of his 6'9" out there. Let's watch inside now. Bowen gets the ball off to him. Good leaping ability there. You see him hanging on the rim a little bit. And here again on the Butler offensive end, the drive all the way underneath. Henderson not able to block that shot. And Butler gets the hoop.
Butler trails 90-62.
Here's second half. Look at Butler's 52%. Indiana's improved theirs also up to 55%.
Steal. And Meeks keeps it alive to Leary. And a travel against Indiana.
2 different slips there. Could be different ends of the floor, though. There he goes down, and it's a turnover.
Indiana will prepare for Notre Dame next Tuesday night. Game time is 8 o'clock. And we hope that many of you will be with us over many of these same Raycom network stations. Whistle stops the action again. The foul is going to go against Indiana.
Brenz got bumped out of there that time. Lindemann is in the lineup, and let's see who that goes against. It does go against Lindemann. Brenz is very active. This will be a good guy for Todd to learn a few things from. Barry Collier reflects over the events of today's ball game. He does a great job with his team. They'd only won 6 games his first year, and he quickly turned that around last year. They went 18-11, and they should have a good season this year. They're going to get a lot more TV time. I think up to 11 or 12 of their ball games this year will be on TV, so they'll have a lot better exposure this year than they have in the past.
Ticking down to 2 minutes. To Lindemann for 2. That's Todd's first 2 points. Yeah, you're right. Good answer.
Got a low pass around his knees, got up quickly for the layup.
92-64. Kept his hands above his head that time to get the block. Right on target. 3 out of that one, Danny Allen. And a whistle and a foul. Michael Wilson, his 3rd.
Personal foul, Butler, number 21.
He gets into.
He's hurt. Looks like he caught a knee right on his knee. See, he's moving that right leg a little bit. He's still down. He did get called for the foul. Jamal's holding his leg too. It looks like they locked knees, and Wilson may have come up with the brunt of that injury, though. Look at Jamal. He's got that expression on his face as he kind of hobbles around.
I certainly hope neither player is injured.
Good scoring in the second half, though, for Butler. They've got 49 points now. They only had 18 in the first half, but 49 that we had mentioned about Indiana's defense in that first half. But here in the second half, they turn around and give up 49 points.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can tell how this happened, Laz.
All right, here's the play. Jamal's going to go to his right. Wilson's trying to move, and he either got a knee in the thigh or just at the knee. He's still down on the floor. There's Barry Collier just stepping over him, and the Butler trainer looking at him.
Well, you were talking about their offensive potential in the second half. Wilson accounted for 13 of those points. And we're going to take a break right here. 92-67 is the score. We'll be back after these messages.
Maybe it's the water or something in the air that gives people here that thing we call common sense. You can see it in their faces and the things they do, like going to 76 for their gasoline. It's the same quality the winners at NASCAR depend on. And people figure if it can satisfy the demands of racing, think what it can do for their cars. And that makes sense, which around here comes as no surprise. 76, go with the spirit.
Holiday cash is in the air. Holiday cash is everywhere. The instant game is growing. $5,000 could be showing. Call the second chance number. There's $20,000 inside. Holiday cash is in the air. A chance for wishes to come true.
Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. By your local 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. By Counter Lock and Load Closed Handling System. And by Farm Bureau Insurance and the more than 600 Farm Bureau insurance agents across Indiana. Well, Wilson is sitting up now And we have another angle of the contact between Jamal Meeks and Michael Wilson. Maybe it's, no, it is the same angle, but watch the knee.
Watch his left knee. See how his foot is planted on the ground, and his knee, as Jamal kneed him right there, his knee had to give out a little bit. So that looks like a knee injury right there. You can see the players carrying him off. We hope that young man's all right. But it took him a while to get off the floor.
We hope that it is nothing serious. Butler will meet Cal State Fullerton next Tuesday night at home in a 7:30 contest at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Certainly hope that Michael Wilson is able to play in that game. Time is back in. The foul was on Wilson. And Jamal Meeks will be shooting. Meeks hasn't scored too much. Well, as a matter of fact, lads, that's his first point tonight. He only had 1 point against UCLA.
Yeah, he's got those assists up there, though, Chuck, and that's he's in there. He kept Bowen out of the middle today, and he made them nice passes on the inside.
This is Bowen. Galt. Danny Allen. And foul. Number 44, Henderson. Only the second on Allen. Butler is going with Brenz, Archibald, Bowen. This is Allen and Geis. As we said, Butler, in winning its game with Notre Dame, shot only 55% from the line. Allen hits the second for his 4th point. 93-68 to Leary. Picks his dribble up, gives it back to Meeks. And they try to hit a cutting Henderson on the baseline. Couldn't lock up.
Tough pass there. That lead pass was coming right at the baseline. Even if he caught that ball, he'd been way too far into the basket to try to do something, and in the 3-second lane. Better wait for him to take an extra step, get out of the lane, a little better position, then getting the ball.
Bowen puts a good move on Jamal, lures him back to the middle, and then dives right for the basket for 2 more.
Graham could not get the ball in bounds instead of taking the 5-second call. Now,
well, we have a timeout, 54 seconds left. It's 93-70. Indiana will be back after these messages.
Corn growers, rootworm protection has taken on a whole new shape. Introducing the Lock and Load closed handling system, the new, safer way to handle your insecticide. Each Lock and Load container opens automatically when attached to your planter lid. Just lock it on and it loads. It's fast, easy, and dust-free. New Lock and Load. Available only at your Cyanamid Agri-Center dealer.
Why are you drinking so much coffee, Charlie?
I'm about to have a Farm Bureau Insurance client account review and evaluation.
It's just a fancy name for saying your Farm Bureau Insurance agent has this great new service designed to review all your insurance policies. You know how fast things change.
Client account review and evaluation.
C-A-R-E.
Farm Bureau Insurance really does care. So what are you so worried about?
93-70, that's the score. Right now, our Napa important part of the game.
First 5 minutes of the first half, Chuck. The Indiana came out, took control of the game, built a big lead. Butler's come back a little here in the second half, but that first 5 minutes set the tone for the ball game.
Give your car the starting power it needs. Get the Napa Legend, the better battery. A foul as Meeks attempts to bring it up court. Will send Jamal back to the line. The foul was on J.P. Brenz, his 3rd.
J.P. Brenz, his 3rd personal.
Tell you, while Jamal is walking to the line, Indiana will host an NCAA soccer quarterfinal match tomorrow at 1 o'clock against Southern Methodist. It'll be played at Bill Armstrong Field here in Bloomington. Tickets are $6 for adults and $4 for students. Missed. Henderson right back up, but he is fouled, and he'll go to the line. And I think either Brens or Allen. And it's going to be Allen called for this foul.
Personal foul, number 30, Danny Allen, his first personal tonight.
One of the things Indiana was concerned about this year was rebounding, but Henderson really adds a lot to that rebounding course. Several times now, probably 7 or 8 offensive rebounds. He had 3 at the half, and he is a force on those boards.
He's starting out the season pretty well offensively too, Les, and I know fans look at that probably more than his defensive abilities, but I think they're going to enjoy this young man by the time he's a junior or senior, if they don't already.
Well, I enjoy him all right. You're right there, Chuck.
16 points for the young man tonight. He had 20 against UCLA.
So you can see he's already averaging 18 points a game in his first 2 Indiana ball games.
And Archibald will go back to the line with 36 seconds remaining. The foul once again goes against Indiana. This is against Greg Graham, his second.
His second personal.
You can see right there concern. It's Butler's 52 points here in the second half. Really not what Coach Knight could have expected after just holding him to 18 points at halftime.
Indiana's committed 23 fouls tonight, lads.
It's been a big help here to get Butler to the line.
The MCC Conference Player of the Year hits both free throws. And a foul.
Personal foul, number 44, Brens. His fourth personal.
That's the 4th on Brens.
He's played a tough game.
Yes, he has.
He's got 17 points. He'll be Butler's leading scorer, and he has been a physical force in there. 2 coaches, neither one of them look very happy right now.
95-72, 96-72. As Leary finds the mark for his first free throw. Lawrence North gets the second. 97-72. So Indiana will come away with a victory, but it hasn't really been too pretty here in the second half. Leary gets the rebound. Out it comes to Brens. From Archibald. And they're going to they'll call the foul on Meeks. He only had a shoulder out. He really hadn't squared up on him as Brens was making the drive to the basket. That's the 4th on Jamal.
Brens to the line.
Well, we had commented last when we were standing down there before the start of the game. We were up close enough to JP to see the young man. He has a very athletic body. He has good legs, good strong shoulders, and he seems to know what he wants to do with the ball.
That makes that free throw.
18 points for Brens. 3 seconds. Indiana just play the clock out, and that's it. The final score, Indiana 97-73. And so, lads, we come out with a victory. I say we, Indiana, and Indiana fans should be very happy about that.
See the 2 coaches shaking hands there at the end of the ball game.
Our next televised game will be next Tuesday night when the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame invade Assembly Hall for a contest with the Hoosiers at 8 o'clock. This has been a copyrighted presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Indiana basketball has been brought to you in part by your Central Indiana Chevy dealer. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
Hardee's new fried chicken is in town, and we invited folks over to try it.
Chicken's kind of juicy and it's crispy. It's real juicy. Juicy. It's nice and crispy.
How does it compare to KFC original recipe?
Hardee's tastes better in Kentucky anytime.
I think it's better chicken than Kentucky.
I don't like Kentucky.
as much.
Come on down to Hardee's. Find out why it's preferred over KFC original recipe 63 to 37. Right now, buy 8 pieces of Hardee's fried chicken and 4 biscuits for $7.99 and get a large coleslaw and mashed potatoes with gravy free.
Where do you find all this? If you said the Bahamas, you're not only right, you're close.
Contact your travel agent or U.S. Air for a Fun Jet Bahamas vacation.
If you're interested in Indiana basketball, we want you right here with us each Sunday at 11:30 on TTV4.
Watch the Bob Knight Show, Sunday mornings at 11:30 on TTV4. You're watching Indiana's sports station.
Indiana Sports Tonight, brought to you in part by Union Federal Savings Bank. All your bank should be.
Welcome back to our Indiana Sports Tonight studios. I'll tell you what, it was a good old-fashioned blowout at Assembly Hall. The Hoosiers a winner over the Butler Bulldogs by a final of 97-73. Ted Kitchell, of course, joining me again here on the postgame show. And Ted, IU came out wanting a win. They smelled it, and they went after it. They were intense.
IU played very, very well, especially on the defensive end. They took Butler out of their offense. Earlier tonight, I spoke of teams that like to run a structured type offense. Butler's that type of team, and IU can take teams like that out of that offense. Butler didn't really have the athletes to do anything after they got them out of their offense, and because of it, they struggled in the first half. Also, I think they, little anxiety run there in the first half. They didn't play like a normal Butler team would.
And, the two keys that you and I talked about during the game, in addition to the athleticism, defense and the ability to control both the offensive and the defensive boards.
Yeah, IU was able to control the boards much better in this type of game than they would in a lot of the Big Ten games. That's one area that really concerns Coach Knight, and I know it's something he's really been working on. Alan Henderson had a big rebounding game tonight. Matt Nover got in there and battled the boards. But again, Butler is not a UCLA. Butler is not an Ohio State.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Let's talk about the highlights a little bit as we roll the videotape. Some of the highlights from tonight's basketball game. Kitch, it starts out Chris Reynolds starting everything out. Calvert Cheney with the 3.
That's how a lot of the games start. Calvert Cheney came out shooting the well, and again, Chris Reynolds started tonight. Damon Bailey didn't get that start, and it really got IU going on the defensive end. Again, another good pass from Calvert Cheney back to Chris Reynolds, and Chris Reynolds with the layup. Chris Reynolds really got things going not only defensively but offensively. Again, inside, Chris Reynolds makes the nice cut. And Coach Knight really has to be happy with the decision he made not to redshirt him. I think the last 2 games, Chris Reynolds has probably played as well as anybody. Calvert Cheney makes the back cut. They look for him, they get him, and he gets the dunk. On the defensive end, I think you take a look, and things there that you're looking at is just IU playing a good defense, tight man-to-man. Here they get on the floor. Alan Henderson knocks it away. Good recognition. He gets the ball to Cheney. Cheney takes it down. And that's the type of night it was for Butler all evening. And on the offensive end, IU just continued to work it around. A little better athletes inside, and they continued to get a lot of easy layups. And whenever Cheney and the guys got the ball inside, they were usually able to score. Here, I talked about Henderson getting the ball. He got a rebound, wasn't able to get it in, but he did continue to get on the board. Damon Bailey came off the bench and did a nice job of shooting the basketball, and he also had 3 or 4 easy assists.
Look at the penetration on the offensive board. They work it around and work it around, control the ball, take the shots, and as always, a Bob Knight team, wait for the good shot. Nover hits it.
Nover did a nice job. He's a guy that I think could be a very, very good player this year if he just get a little bit more confidence.
And you've said that a couple of times before. Other guys who showed confidence, though, I think Damon Bailey did, Alan Henderson did. We'll have some videotape of them in our next segment. But an interesting thing that you mentioned to me when we were watching the game is that Butler was a similar type team to Indiana, and that actually worked against them tonight. Explain that to the viewers.
Well, I think it just works a little bit against them in that, Butler's a very good team, and, they're very well-structured, and Coach Collier does a nice job with them. It's just when they move up to a Big Ten type school, they're getting a little bigger athlete, a little better athlete, and they run the same type of thing IU does, but IU is able to do it a little bit better because they have a little bit better athlete running it. Yeah. And, when Butler runs that against Loyola or some of the teams they play, it works very well for them.
And they did tonight. I'll tell you what, let's take a break here on the Union Federal postgame show, brought to you, of course, by Union Federal. The signs are everywhere. When we return, we'll talk about some of those great individual performances. Ted and I will be back.
Visit the Village of 100,000 Lights in Brown County during the old-fashioned holiday celebration. Call 1-800-753-3255 for a schedule of events. Or give a little of yourself this holiday season by volunteering for the Idle George Museum. Help is needed now through December 29th. In the Bloomington Domestic Violence Shelter for abused women and their dependent children, need extra phone volunteers this season. Call 812-333-7404 to help.
It seemed like any other small, quiet town. That is, until TTV4 started televising their Sunday night Western showdown. Then all of a sudden, your ordinary folk were going off robbing banks, pulling pistols on anybody who looked at them funny. Every day, it seemed like some stranger was riding into town to cause more trouble, gambling and drinking and cohorting with all types of low-down, good-for-nothing individuals. Maybe one day things will quiet down and get back to normal. My guess is that they won't.
What happens when you take two guys, send them on separate dates with the same three women, then bring all 5 people on television here to talk about it? Well, watch this.
You think she wanted you to kiss her?
No, I wouldn't even try.
Yes. Oh. No way. No, I didn't. Was there actual lip contact? Yes.
Now, she's saying there was definite lip
I want to
contact.
take this to small claims court.
How can we resolve this?
Judge Wapner.
Studs. It's outrageous fun. Really.
Stay up with Studs, weeknights at 11:30 on TTV4.
Welcome back to the Union Federal postgame show. Indiana, a winner by 24 points, 97-73 over the Bulldogs of Butler. Indiana's first win of 1992. Mike Goldberg, Ted Kitchell along with you. And Kitch, if you're Barry Collier or a Butler Bulldog fan, you were going into the Joyce ACC, you come out with a victory, you say, man, oh man, have we got a great team. After this, what goes through your mind?
Well, I think that you still have a good team. I think you can probably, if you're Coach Collier, you can probably use it positive or negative. I think that negative, obviously, you can look at the first half and say, guys, you know, we just didn't play very well. And then in the second half, when you do come out and you put things together, work the ball around and get the shots that we want to get, you know, I think they outscored IU 55-47 in the second half. So they did play well. Obviously, they're down by 30, you know, in the second half. But I think you can look at it either way. Still, the win at the ACC against Notre Dame was a big win. I think Butler will have a good year.
Yeah, we hope so, because they're going to be right here a lot on TTV4. Somebody who had a nice game this evening who didn't start, Chris Reynolds started, of course. Damon Bailey has had that sore back, but when he came into the basketball game, number 22, Damon Bailey, was quite effective, Ted.
Yeah, I was interested to see how he was going to come off the back injury. I know last week we were down there before the game. He was shooting around. It's nice to see him look for the shot. Here he was ready to catch the ball and shoot the ball. And a couple times early in the first half, he got the ball and he put it up right away. If Damon Bailey can shoot the ball from outside, it sure makes Calvert Cheney and other people more effective inside. Here, once again, he looking to screen first. Again, catches the ball, looking to shoot it. So many times last year, I think he would catch the ball and then look to pass the ball. Here he was really looking to score. Matt Nover, I thought, did an excellent job here of sliding over, taking the charge. Those type of things, very, very important to IU's defense. If you can get in the right position, it's going to make things go so much better.
And Alan Henderson, again, was effective on this evening. You mentioned before, all right, you get into a basketball game, you're up by just so many points going into halftime. You've held a team to 18 points. How do you stay enthused?
Well,
other than Coach Knight in the locker room.
I'm sure Coach Knight, if your concentration's there, he wants you to stay into the game for 40 minutes, obviously. But when you're up by 30 and you continue to look up at the scoreboard and the minutes are running out, obviously you know you're going to win the game. You're trying to work on certain things, if he wants you to get the ball inside, things like that. But obviously your intensity is probably going to drop off a little bit. Coach Knight's not going to be happy with that, but I think overall he's pretty happy with the performance he got tonight.
Defensively in the second half, IU gives up 55 points to the Butler Bulldogs. Was that IU a little ineffective or the effectiveness of the Bulldogs?
Well, a little bit of both. I think that probably IU came out, with not the intensity, and yet Butler came out They obviously felt probably they had embarrassed themselves in the first half, and they wanted to do a little bit something to help themselves out there. I thought that they shot the ball pretty well. They spotted up behind the three-point line and hit some shots there. And in the second half, they played a pretty good basketball game.
Yeah, they did indeed. All right, let's take a final break here on the post-game edition, the Union Federal post-game show, Indiana Sports Tonight. Still ahead, lots and lots of sports, including, of course, our weekly show. And Ted and I will talk about the Fighting Irish after this time out. Notre Dame, I know, and everybody's going, all right, Butler beat Notre Dame, and now IU plays Notre Dame. What do you go with that?
Well, I think Notre Dame's going to have a few better athletes than a team like Butler. I think Notre Dame obviously has a point to prove also. They went in, they're under a new coach, probably a new style. They're in a learning situation. But they've got some good people. Alfonso Ellis is obviously a very good player, and I'm sure they've got some good people around him. So IU's going to have to come out with the intensity brewing again.
And John McLeod, all right, this I would think similar to Butler. They want to go run and gun, up-tempo basketball. Will that work against the Irish?
I would think that IU's defense, again, will be a major factor in what the Irish is able to do. I think IU will dictate, what goes on in a basketball game, whether or not it's good or bad. If their intensity is good, they come out and play good, hard defense. I think it's going to be very difficult for a lot of teams to score a lot of points.
We saw the numbers sneak up in front of you. Let's check it out again. Our next telecast of Indiana basketball here on TTV4 starts Tuesday. That's December 3rd. Ted Kitchell, myself, Indiana Sports Tonight, the pregame edition at 7:30, followed by Indiana, Notre Dame from Assembly Hall, and of course, immediately following that, the Union Federal postgame show. For Ted Kitchell, our man in the paint, I'm Mike Goldberg. Ted, I'll see you Tuesday. We had a little bit of fun tonight, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes with all today's sports action on the weekly edition of Indiana Sports Tonight.
Indiana Sports Tonight, brought to you in part by Union Federal Savings Bank. All your bank should be.
10 p.m. news tonight. 6 news at 10 o'clock on Channel 4. From Central Indiana's favorite news team.
Join us for a fast-paced half hour of the stories you'll be talking about tomorrow.
Bob McLean will prepare you for the day ahead, weather-wise.
And Ed Sorensen does sports like nobody else in town.
6 news at 10 on Channel 4. 6 news gives you a late news choice, and that makes a difference.
Purdue travels to Indiana State Monday at 7:30 on TTV4.
The following is a special sports presentation of TTV4, Indiana's sports station.
On this edition of Indiana Sports Tonight, a giant of a game for the state title at the Hoosier Dome. The Creature's in with the best of his behind-the-scenes Colts video. And on our inside story, we go inside the life of the world's #1 self-proclaimed hoops junkie.
Indiana Sports Tonight, brought to you in part by Union Federal Savings Bank. All your bank should be. By RCA, changing entertainment again. By Noble Roman's Pizza, home of the new whole wheat super thin pizza. By your local Coca-Cola bottler. And by the Hoosier Lottery, helping to build Indiana. This is Indiana Sports Tonight.
Welcome to this pre-game, post-game, poster game edition of Indiana Sports Tonight. Hey, thanks to all who participated in last week's RCA Sports Pro Quiz. For those of you who still haven't figured out all the answers, I'll tell you what, they will be here on our show. We'll give them to you later on in the show. We'll also give away another RCA home video camera in just a couple of weeks. Well, as you know, you saw it right here on TTV4. The Hoosiers a big-time basketball winner tonight at Assembly Hall, so let's talk football. And to do so, we head down to the Hoosier Dome. A great battle in the 5A state football championships. #1 against #2. 13-0 against 13-0. The defending champs trying to hold their throne. It was a game you saw, of course, here on Indiana Sports Station. Ben Davis and Penn down at the Hoosier Dome. Tonight's Noble Romans monster game of the week. Let's go down and see that 5A state championship decided. Ben Davis came into the game outscoring their playoff opponents 215-35. One of the big reasons why this man right here scampers down 60 yards, does Steve Holman, to put these guys, the Ben Davis Giants, into scoring position. Chris Ings with the bootleg and the touchdown. Ben Davis up early in the football game by a score of 7-0. Still in the first half now, Ings drops back plenty of time and finds a wide open Keith Walton, who skips into the end zone for the score. Ben Davis led in the football game 24-0 at halftime, and they wouldn't let up in the second half. First offensive play, Steve Holman gets the ball and rumbles all the way down for the score, an 80-yard touchdown run. And Ben Davis was looking oh so close to their second straight championship. Ben had a tough day all day long. They were a little overmatched, as was every other team in the state against Ben Davis. A interception return for Cameron Smith, 53 yards for 6. Ben Davis led it 38-0. Finally, the Kingsmen get on the board when Kyle goes in from 8 yards out for a touchdown, but it was not nearly enough as Ben Davis, the Giants, go 14-0. They capture their second consecutive 5A state championship, 5 out of the last 6 years for the Giants. They are a giant of a football team. Congratulations to both teams. Let's now hear from the winning head coach.
Really blitzed and really gave us a lot of trouble, and they brought people from everywhere, and some of the big plays were because they were blitzing so much. They were very, very well prepared. They brought the secondary a lot of times on offense, and I'm very proud of the seniors. I'm proud of the way they've done all year. I'm proud of the way they've stayed together. I'm proud of my coaching staff because of all the good things that they have stuck with these kids and played and just coached the fundamentals, and the fundamentals of the game is what won it.
Everybody says the greatest team ever assembled in the state, ever. I didn't say anything today to change my opinion. But, yeah, I was really proud our kids fought all the way. We're a little overmatched in the size and speed department, but it was a real honor to be here representing the North.
We dug deep, made some big plays. Steve Holman, you can't say enough about the guy. You just give him the ball. I think if he lined up against 11 guys by himself, he may score. So, you can't say enough about him. Everybody stuck with it. We were able to do the things we had to do. Our defense played great. They scored 14 points, but that was after the second team was in, and the defense did a heck of a job, held tough in the end of the first half when we had to do it. And, we just came through, did what we had to do.
Can't say enough about Chris Ings either. Of course, a former Dan Young student athlete. Now, a bit later, we'll show you all the highlights from 4A on down via our RCA Hoosier Cam. But now let's talk about Lou Holtz's Fighting Irish. They are set to kick off in about a minute or so. The Irish's last regular season bowl game before the bowl game, regular season game, of course, they'll meet Florida in the Sugar Bowl. And speaking of those Gators, let's head down to Gainesville, Florida Field. Check out how they did today against the #3 team in the nation, the Florida State Seminoles. Well, let's just say they did well, up 7-3. Florida on the move again. Gators quarterback Shane Matthews finds Harrison Houston, He makes a dandy move and goes in for the touchdown. 72 yards in the score. Gators on top in the football game. 14-3, little celebration. Bobby Bowden, reason to hang his head? Yeah, kinda. Seminoles on the drive when quarterback Casey Weldon is chased down. A fumble on the play. After the chase, State recovers. They would have to settle for 3, and that kept them close. And close it was in the football game with 2 minutes left. Gators up 14-9. Seminoles looking for the win. Weldon scrambling out of the pocket, looking for Kevin Knox. Incomplete pass. Now, let's take a look at it again because he's wide open. But Weldon didn't see him until it was too late. 2 losses in a row for Bobby Bowden's team. As we go to the scoreboard, check out all the top 20 action. You see the final, the Florida Gators. When Steve Spurrier came in, he said, "We are working to beat our arch nemesis." They did it today. Florida State losing their last 2 games. 2, the other one was these guys. In the third quarter of their football game, the Miami Hurricanes, they'll see a good Nebraska team later on in the Orange Bowl. Elsewhere on the top 20 scoreboard, Alabama 13-6 final over Auburn, and of course another big rivalry. Vandy and Tennessee, not even close in that one. Number 22, Tulsa, going against SMU. Tulsa a winner by 5, 31-26. And number 25, Georgia, 18-15 winner over Georgia Tech. All right, let's take a break here on Indiana Sports Tonight, but still lots more ahead, including those answers to our RCA Sports Pro quiz. Last week, of course, we gave away a camera. The Pacers are on the road where the going has been oh so tough. And this week's Inside Story is with the man they call Dickie V.
The RCA 8mm camcorder is so small and light, you'll take it everywhere. That way, you won't miss a thing. It also gives you great color in almost any light.
Come on, give me the slippers.
Like we say, you won't miss a darn thing. And when you go from one subject to the next, it focuses instantly. The RCA 8mm camcorder. Another way we're changing entertainment again.
Holiday cash is in the air. Holiday cash is everywhere. The instant game is growing. $5,000 could be showing. Call the second chance number tonight. There's $20,000 inside. Holiday cash is in the air. A chance for wishes to come true.
How does a Noble Roman's pizza with your favorite topping sound? Sound good? Now, how about one on an all-new super thin crust made from scratch with real whole grain dough for a new crispier taste? Sound better? Then listen to this. For a limited time, you can get a large one-topping super thin crispy crust pizza for just $6.99. How's that sound?
Trust me, kiddo. And now, silver shovel. Thank you. Grandma's fruitcake. Grandpa's magic pine cone. In 2 weeks, we should see something.
Is it time, Grandpa?
It's time.
It's 2 for 1 at Watson's. 2 hot tubs for $24.99. Bring a friend. 2 pool tables for $12.99. 2 for 1 on tanning beds. Gas logs and glass doors. Fireplace inserts 2 for $10.99. That's Watson's.
Welcome back to the show. You know, the Pacers just ripped the Houston Rockets last night at Market Square, scoring 141 points. But tonight, they're on the road again, where this team has won just 1 basketball game. Let's head to the Bradley Center, see how things were going early against the Bucks. Going very well. Look at the big 3 right there. And then pushing it right back up, though. Dish to Reggie. Count it, and the foul. Michael Williams with a nice pass. Then controlling the boards. Chuck off the miss.
to Reggie again. Reggie coming off a great performance last night, looking good again tonight. Then Detlef Shrimp with the jam. He's coming off that head injury, of course. But then how about this? Reggie with the steal. They were running and gunning a little bit, just like they were at Indiana tonight. Here, check one more out as we go to the NBA scoreboard. Let's see how the Pacers are doing. Well, they're losing at halftime, 72-57. Let's hope they can come back in that basketball game. Elsewhere in the National Basketball Association, the Knicks a big winner over the Pistons at MSG. The Lakers in Philadelphia at the Spectrum. Lakers win it by a deuce. Boston and Atlanta at the Omni. Boston loses in a big-time fashion. There goes their winning streak. Minnesota, Dallas in their basketball game there in the second quarter. Seattle and San Antonio are also in the second quarter of their basketball game. New Jersey and Denver look like this. They're in the second quarter. Utah, Phoenix, they're just getting going. 11-7, lead by a touchdown. Miami and Orlando, that's a final. A Magic win at 105-99. Couple of top 20 college basketball games to talk about. Of course, the game you saw right here on Channel 4, 97-73 winners. Indiana over Butler. Elsewhere, #1 Duke rolls it up big time over Harvard. Ohio State, Chicago State. Yeah, right. Towson State and North Carolina. North Carolina, oh my, what an upset by 10. Towson State over the Tar Heels. My, oh my. I'll tell you what, I hope that's an upset. We might have that one wrong. 98-88 North Carolina. Drexel and St. John's. Drexel. St. John's was actually a winner in that basketball game, so we did have that. St. John's 81-61, a winner in that basketball game. All right, well, let's move it on a little bit. Man, that surprised me for a second. Let's move it more to college basketball. Of course, you saw it right here. Indiana, the big-time winner over the Butler Bulldogs down at Assembly Hall. Butler's first loss of the year. IU evens its record at 1-1. But let's move it on and talk more about college basketball, because we should take time to visit with the man who has helped this game be one of the most talked about sports in America. So get out the mustard, baby, because it's hot dog time on this week's Union Federal Inside Story.
I'm so pumped up, I can't wait. Hello! They're playing awesome, baby! A little slam jam bama, rock and roll. Oh, what a pass! What a pass! You gotta get T.O., Robert. You better get a T.O. this tonight.
His name has become synonymous with college basketball. He's America's self-proclaimed #1 hoops junkie. And through his enthusiasm and love for the college game, Dick Vitale has become a broadcasting mega PTPer.
I think back of 1971, teaching the 6th grade. What a dream. I always say a boy, a ball, a dream. Trying to climb that ladder, trying to climb that mountain. And to be able to sit here, I pinch myself. And I say, only in America, I owe it all to my home. I had a mother and father. My dad's still living. He's had a heart attack in the past, but still living. And my mom passed away. But they taught my brother, my sister, and I about work ethic.
Doing so many games during the college basketball season, maybe 75 to 80 basketball games. I know there's some in there that just aren't the marquee matchups yet. You come out on the court, you're fired up. How do you stay so motivated?
Well, Mike, very simply, every time I walk in the gym, I have that special feeling. I hear the screeching sneakers, the ball, the kids playing. To them on any given day, that's the most important game in their life. And as Lou Holtz has said recently, and I believe in it so much, I go to the Golden Dome quite a bit with my daughter Terry, is a sophomore there on the tennis team, and my young girl Sherry just signed this week. So I'll have 2 Golden Domers, and I have great respect for Lou Holtz and his philosophy and the things he believes in. And like he said, God doesn't promise us tomorrow. So live each day to the best of your ability. Live each day to its maximum. Give your best.
A little good vibration time. Barky Bark and the Funky Bunch.
Some would say there's too much hype with Dick Vitale. The critics want to say, well, he gets into all that T.O. stuff. Right. We don't hear anything about basketball. What do you say to those critics?
Well, there's a mentality in America that's amazing. As you climb the ladder and have success, people want to knock you down. There's that guy banging that typewriter. He wants to knock you down. He wants to find some flaws in you, and he wants to beat on you. And you know what you say to yourself simply? Well, the people, the real people, they know whether or not I love what I'm doing. And the greatest compliment I get is from people that know me back in New Jersey when I was a 6th grade teacher saying, you know what? He's the same. In Detroit, I was labeled Mr. Enthusiasm before I ever had a microphone. So I'm going to change now.
When you speak about Bobby Knight, there are 2 major factors. Great offensive ball movement for the high percentage shot and team defense.
The cream and crimson Assembly Hall. Why do you have such a love for Bob Knight?
I admire people that are not afraid to do things in terms of work ethic. You could say whatever you want about Bobby Knight, but I happen to know him fairly well. Down deep, if you really get close to this man, there's a lot of warmth in there, and there's a guy that cares about people.
Which is also true about Dick Vitale. He loves everybody, the fans, the players, the coaches, but most importantly, his family.
I love being part of a good family background, and I've had that in my family with my sister, my brother, my dad, my mom, and my whole family now. And it's just, it's good to be part of that warm Italian makeup that we have. I got to take care of my paisans now. I get a lot of times to get on my case studies. The name is Vitale. It's not Vital, it's a Vitale.
Dick Vitale has helped bring college basketball to its highest level of popularity ever. In the process, though, the game has kept Dickie V very young.
Being around young people keeps me very young. But I don't look 52. I look about 25, don't I? Come on, 26. Now, if I had you here, Mike, I'd be a star. I remember you in Florida when we first met. You were a little heavier. You didn't have this good looks that you have now, this style and poise. You've come a long way, baby.
I'll tell you what, a shot in the arm from Dickie V. It was fun visiting with him. Of course, you can visit with us for some great basketball Monday night. December 2nd, Purdue goes against Indiana State. The game show. Hey, Indiana Sports Tonight, 7:30 pregame show on Tuesday, December 3rd, followed by Indiana Notre Dame from Assembly Hall, and then the Union Federal postgame show. All right, I got to tell you before we go to break, folks, my heart stopped pounding. I did find out for sure North Carolina did win, but only by 10 over Towson State, 99-88, and St. John's a big-time winner over Drexel, 81-61. I know you guys are going crazy out there. Let's take a time out here on Indiana Sports Tonight. But we're taking you right up to the top of the hour in tonight's Lotto America drawing, because still ahead, you will meet this week's Dan Young student-athlete, one of the many football players who invaded the Dome this weekend. And as promised, our RCA Hoosier Cam brings you the highlights from the all-high school state championships. Stick around.
Tonight's winning Daily 3 numbers are 2-0-0. And in Daily 4, 3-3-3-0. And in Lotto Cash, 20-23.